2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello. We have Regal Posture showing up real early for chat. Thanks for being here, my friend. How are you? And we have Riven. Is it Riven or Reven? 2001 in chat. Welcome on in. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are going to do something a little different this stream. Alex, what's up? Alex Alchemy, hello. Thanks for being here. So for this stream, we'll be doing things a bit differently than most streams. We'll be doing a little deep dive into how to get started with streaming. I thought it'd be fun. We unlocked it as the sub goal from the other day. So yeah, you finally know how to wave shine properly. Let's go, Alchemy. Good job. How'd you learn how to do that? Exactly, Link. Exactly. Invisible Euros. Yeah. I don't know why they're invisible. They're yellow. They're not green. So. Oh, wave dash, nice. Good job. No worries, no worries. Good stuff. How'd you learn? All right, let's go on to this here. Okay. So, let's move this actually, because I realized I have to set my new goal. I don't even know what the goal should be. Let's see. What should my goal be, guys? The next sub goal. Current sub goal. You got the Sephiroth DLC for Smash? Awesome, Pixel. I'm glad you're enjoying Sephiroth. That's great. I find him to be pretty slow myself. How do you make up for his slowness, Pixel? Because I guess he's pretty strong. He's got decent range, but he's very, very slow. I'm glad you're enjoying him, though. Let's say the current sub goal can be... Not sure what the sub goal should be. His range. Yeah. His range is pretty freaking crazy. Something with Esther. How's it going, Esther? How was the rest of your stream? Yeah, what should it be, though? Just Nair Sephiroth? Yeah, is that his fastest move, Rads, though? It's like he has like his electrocution barrier around him or whatever. You're hungry? Oh, I hear that. I just ate, but I'm still hungry. It's kind of interesting that his counter can be used offensively as well. Yeah, with the little like shield and then a little attack out of it. Yeah, I agree. It's cool. Yeah. I wish there was like a co-op Star Fox game. That would be really fun to play with Esther. I'll have to think of it later. But I need a placeholder for now, like something dumb. How about like the sub goal for this time around is I will I'll just do drawing stream for now. Yo, Kikabytes, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, Kikabytes. How is your evening going? You guys, we have a challenger approaching. It is Kikabytes and the viewing party from Kikabyte stream. Welcome on in. Thanks so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in. And we are just starting the music. So if you'd like to add to the queue, you can if you're a sub or a VIP, you can do that. How is Pokemon Sword and Shield, my friend? It's Christy. What's up? Are your glasses all considered something new about you? Yeah, they are, Lolo. It's a really big adjustment, especially to people that have known me for a while. They think it's Donnie or something like that. Really good, Lolo. I think it'd be fun to kind of go through a how to stream type thing. And what we'll do is I'll just share my screen and we'll do some Googling and then we'll take some notes on what people are saying. I like to use OneNote, so let's switch my notebook to this. Let's call this Streaming 101. All right. So we got our notes on the right. We got our browser on the left. Actually, okay, that's annoying, actually. I guess I'll leave it like that. The thing I like about OneNote is you can collapse it pretty easily. We racking up that battle count just to get the shiny multiplier. Nice. Annie, yo, thanks for the 9 months.
9 freaking months.
No kidding. Thanks for the resub, Annie. I appreciate that. How's your evening going? Welcome on in. Oh, shiny grubbin. Nice. Kick it bites. Who were you after particularly? The shiny multiplier. Gotcha. The battle count for this. And I'm assuming you have the item, right? You have that one item that increases the shiny one. Have I competed in Slippy tournament during quarantine? Good question, Alex Alchemy. I have not. Actually, have you? I haven't participated in any tournaments since Park on the Grass. Don't Park on the Grass in Seattle in 2018. So I've not competed in quite some time. Thanks so much for the resub. Yeah, look at that. You got your gold badge. That's looking awesome. Oh, gotcha. Only ultimate tournaments? Okay, Alex. The shiny charm. Sadly, nope, as I don't have all 400 Pokemon in the base decks yet. Wait, 400? Really? I thought you only needed 251 for that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I didn't play Silver Shield. Yeah, for sure, Lolo, for sure. How's it going, Binks? I kind of stopped going to them due to its bad netcode. I don't blame you at all, Alex. It's very bad. Hey, Memory Martin, welcome on in. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Said Blake, thanks for the 25 bits. Thank you. I was gonna join the Big House tourney. What? Alex, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Free Melee, by the way. Free Melee. Twitch being stinky. Sounds good, Annie. Sounds good. Got some Transformers for Christmas. Nice. That's awesome, Pixel. Glad to hear that. All right. So let's answer the first question, okay? We'll do what PC specs do you need to stream? Let's see what the internet says. Minimum specs to stream PC. Hashtag free melee, Christy. Ooh, let's go. Okay. No, don't use your phone. Yeah, Insane Asylum. Can you get me for streaming a streaming tutorial on stream? Thank you. Thanks for that report. Very important, Lolo. Thanks for keeping me in line there. Appreciate that. Ooh. Pokemon Sword and Skyrim? Nice. How far are you in Skyrim? But the battle count, I lowered my odds from 1 out of 4,000 to 1 out of 819. That is significantly better odds. I'm doing really good, Christy. I just got a massage. I just ate some food. I'm still hungry, but that's okay. And now we're hanging out. And I'm trying to walk through how to stream here. Okay, a good computer. That's Windows 7 and newer. Okay, no. Windows 10. I'd say Windows 8 or Windows 10. I would not say Windows 7. I don't think you saw my message in Essie's chat. You got an Animal Crossing Switch? That's awesome. Congratulations. I misread that message somehow and thought you were going to play Pokemon Skyrim version. Well, that was a version of the game until Nintendo shut it down. Just kidding. Alright. So, OS. Windows. I'm going to say Windows 10. It's just what I'm going to say. I do not believe in using Windows 7 at all.
Wow! Incredible!
What? Holy Gigabytes, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Wow. Thank you so much. First you raid me, then you gift 5 subs in my chat. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you, thank you. Wow, what a pleasant surprise. Oh, thanks for asking, Annie. My Christmas was great. I had a really good time on Christmas Eve with Esther's family. And then I spent Christmas Day with my brother, his fiance, my parents, and Esther also. And it was really fun. It was a good time. We had plenty of gifts to go around, plenty of food to eat. It was great. How was your Christmas, Annie? And for everyone else in chat, how was your Christmas? Wow. Thank you so much, Gigabytes. Happy belated Christmas. Well, I appreciate that. Happy belated Christmas to you. Seriously. Glad to hear that, Mary Martin. Did you get anything fun? How was your Christmas, Gigabytes? It was chill. I like it, Andy. I like it. So Intel i5-7 at least, or AMD equivalent. I don't really know how to. I might want to look that up later. Oh, I see. Oh wow, it literally writes that right here. Crazy. 8 gigabytes minimum. That sounds right. I won't even consider putting in Mac OS as like a recommendation. I just can't in good conscience do that. You got some Animal Crossing amiibo cards. Didn't get Molly, darn. Can't you load any files you want onto NFC cards though? It was very good. I got some merch I was looking at. Let's go. What kind of merch? Or just your phone? Big disagree. I mean, I guess if you want to stream just cooking or like hanging out or playing music, I guess that's true. But again, I can't in good conscience recommend someone use their phone to stream. That's just... One PC or 2 PCs is like actually decent, but for most people, I would not even go there. Well, yeah, a Twitch account, duh. So yeah, so streaming, so that covers specs. So then for streaming software, we want OBS Studio or OBS Live. I will not be recommending Streamlabs OBS to anybody, or XSplit or anything else, probably. My day was good, got a Kirby plush and a PS5, and both Spider-Man games, Pixel. You made out like a bandit. Congratulations, that's great. Mine was pretty good. I got to see my aunt and uncle. Wow, that's great, Christy. Do they live near you, or do they live kind of far away? Cloak brand and YouTubers Vanos and is that Smitty? Comfy stuff. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I would say merchandise has really been very good in general from a lot of creators lately. Just really high quality, comfortable stuff. To be honest, I don't really do the amiibo thing. I just did because I just did it because Nintendo was releasing them somewhat close to Christmas. Ah, in Ohio. Wow, that's pretty far away, right, Christy? Spider-Man is a great, even if the foreshadowing is a bit obvious, at least to the comic fans like you. Are you talking about Spider-Man or the Miles Morales game? Because they both look really good. Streaming from consoles, yeah. Stream directly to Microsoft's Mixer platform. Yeah, this is out of date. This is out of date. Streaming 101. Okay, I'm going to add to this, and I'm going to say stream. I might even say, like, what accounts do you need? What accounts do you need? Twitch. Stream elements. Anything else you want? I would say, like, if you don't go with stream elements, you might want to go with, like, a Nightbot pairing with something else. Because Nightbot's pretty good. Nightbot's a pretty good mod, I'd say. Gotcha, Binks. Really rainy, huh? My grandma's coming down Wednesday. Can't wait to watch the newest season of Law & Order. Let's go. That sounds fun. I'm glad you have, like, a little tradition with her. That's fun. 6-7 hours. Wow. Driving or flying? I'm assuming it's driving. Yeah, that's definitely driving. The first Spider-Man one with Peter. I won't spoil it. Okay. Gotcha, Pixel. Gotcha. I streamed on Mixer for a few months. Yeah. Dude, actually, Mixer was pretty good. I streamed on it when it was Beam.pro. I loved Beam.pro. The latency was so small between, like, the delay between chat and streaming was, like, non-existent on Beam.pro. And I'm pretty sure that carried over into Mixer when it rebranded, and then Microsoft bought it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, streaming software. I guess I'm gonna go with my recommendations. I'm not gonna worry about what other people use. Mixer. Oh yeah, then they moved to Facebook. Yep. Yeah, Microsoft loves killing products. I hope they don't kill GitHub. Or things they acquire, I should say. What the heck? Why'd I get a voicemail? Okay. Yeah, we're not using Twitch Studio. We're not using XSplit. Chat blocks. That's true. I don't know if I'd recommend chat blocks over cruise control. I guess. Huh. That's a tough one for me. Yeah, it is good for that, but so is cruise control. I think cruise control is a bit more flexible. Well, I don't know. Chat blocks. For beginners, chat blocks was super easy. Yeah, but it's got some limitations in terms of, like, you have to have a browser running, right? You can't, like, run it in OBS. Yeah. I'd say, like, Comfy.js for, like, add-ons. I'll say advanced, even though it's not really advanced. Hey, Sidewinder, welcome back. Really good. We're just chatting about getting started with streaming and stuff you need. I'm making a little list on the right here. I'm gonna get it big enough so you guys can see it. So, how's your Christmas, Sidewinder? I'd say, I guess chat. I'll include chat blocks, but let's see. What else do I use? I use Comfy.js. But I feel like Chatblocks uses Comfy.js, so maybe that's like redundant. Fatih, welcome, welcome. Good to see you again. I'm doing really good. How are you and how was your Christmas, my friend? Good to see you again. I love the idea. It seems like you like to create this guides a lot. I do, Sidewinder. I like creating little guides, and it's fun to like lay things out and think about the best way to get someone else started into something. I'm making a little like how to start streaming guide with my recommendations, and it's just a fun exercise I enjoy doing, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. I almost would put a category of things I would not recommend, like negative recommendations, like unrecommendations, things I don't recommend. Using Streamlabs OBS. Sorry if you guys like it. Holy snap! Gigabytes, another 3? Wait, you gave out 1 tier 3 community gift sub? Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I regret nothing, LOL. LEL. Thank you. I don't know why the alert didn't go off. Wow. Let's try that again. There we go. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Gifted a tier 3 sub to End Crazy Gamer.
Ninja gift. Wow. Tier 3 gifted sub. That's a big deal. Thank you so much. Wow. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're fine, Fatih. I'm making a little list of like how to get started with streaming. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Even though I've been doing it for almost 3 years, I'm sure it'll help you. Awesome. Well, hopefully it will help anyone that looks at it. So, especially if it helps you, Memory Martin, that'd be awesome. Don't forget, you need at least 5 gigs minimum to stream at all. Yeah, I'm saying 8 gigs minimum. The equipment? Yep, I'm doing equipment. But I want to write down things I don't recommend. I don't recommend using Streamlabs like OBS stuff. I'm not going to say I don't recommend using Streamlabs alerts because there's still a place for those, I think. There's still some good ones. But I'm also going to say like using Linux or Mac OS or... I also say, what is it, Twitch Studio or some Twitch... What's the Twitch one called? I forgot. It's like Twitch Studio, yeah. Oh, internet. Oh. You mean 5 megabits upload speed? Oh, 5 megabits. Moobot, Crawlbot, Nightbot. I don't not recommend using Nightbot and those other ones. I think they can work depending on your setup. I'm only going to list things I actively don't recommend down here. Streaming from console. I don't recommend streaming from console. There's almost no reason to do it that way. If you can help. I know that's the only option for some people, but while I'm listing down things I recommend versus things I don't recommend, I'm going to be honest about that. I really do think if you want to stream, you want like a dedicated PC, even if you play console stuff. You want to get a capture card and all that. So I would say like equipment. You want a mic. You want a camera. You want good lighting. Elgato makes some great products, Alex. I agree. Good thing Nintendo doesn't have that as a thing. What is a thing, Memory Martin? Gotta light up that food. Oh, I see what you're saying. Streaming from the console. Gotcha. Thanks, Esther. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say that more features is a bad thing, but I don't know. And there is some gatekeeping that goes on there when you say you shouldn't be allowed to do this, that I'm not necessarily a fan of, but it's just hard for me to recommend things that I think aren't the most optimal. If you have the camera as optional, I know some people get shy. I agree with that, Memory Martin, but I would still say it doesn't really matter if you're shy. If you want to like do streaming as like a thing, you basically need a webcam, in my opinion, because people that watch connect immediately to someone with a face, and when you don't provide that, I don't know. I know it's optional, but I really do think it's kind of necessary if you want to at least grow. I know some people don't, but it's giving me a recommendation to still use a webcam. There are top streamers who don't show face ever, right? But they're established, like they've been around for years. I don't know how many new streamers you know of that get big from not showing their face. I don't know about that. Streaming from console on Nintendo Switch, I can see the pixels now. Not a bad thing. Yeah, gigabytes. Nintendo doesn't have exactly the best history with internet infrastructure and services. That's a good point. So, but you're right, Esther. I mean, there are plenty of people that don't show faces ever, but I'm still not going to recommend it. Like, I'd recommend if you want to be an entertaining person or whatever, and you want to like do a stream, I would say camera is very important. Actually, it's not necessary, but I'm still going to recommend it. Yeah, cameras are more effort, but that's I would still consider it a vital part of most streams. Yeah, exactly, Esther. So I'll ask you, on Family Friendly Live, the Family Friendly Live team, I think there's one person who doesn't use a webcam, and she does like an animated like creature that like it's basically like a face, but it's not. So even the person that doesn't use a webcam has some kind of a V streamer, exactly. She has some kind of substitute. Yeah, a V streamer. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's the term I was looking for. It's not required, but a face helps the users form a connection. Exactly. I read that from the internet, so take it with a grain of salt. No, that's exactly right. I really do think that's correct. So I'm going to say you need a microphone. I'm going to say you need a camera, to be honest. Food lighting? Gosh dang it. I see what that comment meant now. Sidewinder. I realized I got food lighting instead of good lighting. Yeah, I think, but again, what VTuber and V-streamers do with that is they're not getting rid of the webcam element completely. They're like replacing it with something else. So it's a way to like connect with the viewer, you know? Yeah, you guys caught me. Good job. It's like, but the thing with good lighting is like, it's not that expensive. I think maybe with each recommendation, I'll have like a starting pack and then a advanced pack. I would say, yeah, well, obviously I have to pick one or the other pixel. I would say voice is more important than camera. But you need good food lighting if you're doing cooking streams. True. That being said, you're basically telling us to buy the new KFC console with food lighting. I would never advocate for that, Alex. Voice is more important than camera, but a camera gives more personality than voice. Huh. That's an interesting observation. Yeah, that sounds right to me. A deep fry meme? I'm so lost here. No, that was just a mistype on my part. It should have said good lighting. For example, Kevin Conroy Batman. Do I need to say more? Facial expressions? Yeah. Expressiveness? I guess I'll put like audio mixer, but I know like that's definitely bonus. That's not a necessity, but I'm tempted to be like, if you don't have a physical audio mixer, use excuse me, use like Voice Meter or like a virtual audio mixer because it's free. And you being able to hear yourself and stuff is like huge. Audio mixer, monitoring. I mean, I know most streamers don't use this, but once you have it, you cannot go back. Because like, without this, you're only constantly wondering or asking people, like, do I sound okay? Do things look right? And of course, I'll still ask just in case, but I have a very good idea of what you're hearing right now because of how I have things set up. I can look at the levels. I can hear it in my literal ears. And that's all with mixing software and this audio mixer that I use. So, what virtual monitor mixer would you suggest? I've used Voice Meter before. It's worked well for me in the past. Hey, JP, what's up? How do you only allow subs and VIPs to post links? I use Stream Elements Spot. I used to use Nightbot, but then I upgraded to Stream Elements. So good question, JP. And I would still recommend Nightbot if you don't use Stream Elements and you want to use like Streamlabs for widgets and stuff. I understand using Nightbot in that circumstance, but I like the Stream Elements bot the most because one, if you use OBS Live, you can name your bot whenever you want. Nice, JP, yeah. Yeah, I just use Stream Elements. So, Aki, what's up? Someone gifted you? Yeah, I believe that was Gigabytes. Yeah. Dang, Aki, you've had a Twitch account since October of 2012. That's awesome. I think we made our Twitch account the same year. Yeah, Sidewinder. I love me some Banjo-Kazooie music too. Yeah, Gigabytes gifted like a ton of subs, which is awesome of him or her. I don't know if Gigabytes is a guy or a girl. It's like it needs to be the beginning of a Pokemon game. Are you a boy or are you a girl? Thanks, Aki. I appreciate that. I appreciate the follow. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so if I could choose someone to make a soundtrack for my life, it would be Grant Kirkhope. Good choice. I would also choose Grant Kirkhope. My guy, you can refer to me with whatever you want. Alright. Just to confuse. Oh man, I'm a huge fan of confusing people and just causing chaos. So I'll do that all the time. I'll do that all the time, Gigabytes. Thanks for the permission there. Okay. So this is a pretty good, I want to say like bonus or something. There's like bare essentials and then there's like a bonus section. I guess we'll call it bonus for now. Stream Deck macros. Panels? I don't really know how to word that. Miser? Sorry, what? Mixer? I'm confused why I put Mixer there. I would pick Michiru Yamane, one of the main composers for Castlevania. Oh, cool. Sounds good, Sidewinder. We'll see you when you come back. Crush 40. Crush 40 makes some bangers, man. Okay. This is a pretty good place to start. Yeah, everyone recommends the Blue Yeti. That's a pretty good beginner one. But when you add this all up, it gets pretty pricey just for an initial stream even. Yo, what's up, Nick? Entertaining and attractive. That is a good question. I mean, obviously you're memeing, but like, there's a point to that where I'm like, I wonder to what degree I put in here, like, you know, have a strategy or like have a plan or have goals or whatever when you stream. Your mic, Essie? More than like the snowball or something? Use link protection and only allow subs to post. And VIPs, yes. $30. Yeah, what's the snowball? I think it's one that Donnie used to have or something. Snowball, like this one's pretty cheap, I think. Okay, like $50. Yeah, I've heard really good things about this snowball. I haven't heard of yours before. I mean, it does sound good. Very highly rated. It's got a little stand. Yeah, Radzo? Nice. Yeah, this one's got a stand too. I use the snowball. Yeah, okay, so what do you think of the snowball, Gigabytes? Do you, because I've heard like that's the perfect starting mic. But I mean, hey, this one's probably pretty good too. The bare basics. Yeah, it's a good question. I want to cover like a spectrum of things. I would say capture card, console. I would say obviously if you want to stream console games, capture cards a necessity. But then also depends on what kind of console you want to stream. If you want to stream like a retro console, you'd want to use some kind of special capture card. If you want to stream modern stuff, you could buy any old Elgato and it works. Yeah. That's what I thought. Gigabytes, yeah. Amazon says your city in zip. Oh. Where does it say that? Oh, it does. I don't care that much. Thanks for looking out for me, though, Esther. I appreciate that. Nice for a snow wall, but my dad got something else because people recommend anymore. Really? I have too many USB devices. Oh, man. That sucks. You don't know what? You don't know what you got? Memory Martin? I'd be very interested in that. What mic you have instead of that. So, here's a question, though. I wonder what, like, entry-level webcam I should recommend. For true beginners, see if you can make a kit for under $70. Whew. $615. Okay. Okay. Are you pretty happy with it? Most streamers are gonna drop streaming after seeing the continued 0 viewers. Yeah. Yeah. My bike is Blue Yeti, white, great quality, but it's expensive. Yeah. I used the Blue Yeti before this one, which is a lot more expensive than a Blue Yeti. Chat blocks. Okay, so I'd say the very bottom end would be... No, I don't like that. So like 35 bucks. On the very lowest end, I would say Snowball would be like 50 bucks or something. And then Blue Yeti, it's like $130 from what I've seen. Well, I use 2 because someone gave me a 920 when I'm playing games. I still use a 615. Really? Nice. Well, that's good to know. That's very good to know. Thanks for the recommendation, dude. So on the low end, Logitech 615, which is apparently about $60. What if these are just hijacked prices or jacked up prices because of COVID stuff? This says $60 at Office Depot. We'll say 60 bucks. The C310. Okay. Oh yeah, you did use this. $36 on Staples.com. Huh. Oh, I got... Okay. 60, we got it for 30. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll say this is the starting one at... We'll just say $35 just because that's what I'm seeing here, but it might not be that cheap. First camera I use, all I remember is that it was $30. Okay. How much is a C920 going for right now? 100 bucks.
Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Hey Toby, welcome. How are you? The current can works fine, just a bit fuzzy. We recommend a checking a VOD for a fuzz check. Keck. 3DS fuzz. Wow, hopefully no webcams at 3DS levels of fuzz. Okay. Logitech C920 at around, I guess we'll say $100. That's more than I paid for it. I paid 80 bucks for it, I think. What's up, Admiral Eggroll? How's it going, Matt? C920X is like $70. Really? C922. Doesn't that do 60 FPS, 1080p? think it was C922. Oh yeah, use your phone. Huh. But then see, like, using your phone as a webcam, I don't know what really is entailed in that. I don't know what, you know, what special mount you gotta get for your phone for it to fit on your monitor, you know? So I guess you're right. I want to see the difference between the 920 and the 922. Yeah, 60 FPS. Oh, it's 720p. Never mind. Okay, so it does 60 FPS at 720p, not 1080. Okay. But to be fair, I've only had two C920s, and they're both pooped out on you. Whoa, what? That sucks. I've had this 920 for almost 6 years now, and it works fine. Universal selfie ring light. Oh, with a mobile phone holder. Huh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a light too. Alright. I like this. But see, then what like software do you need to be able to use your webcam as or your phone as a webcam, you know? That's my concern with it. Like if it ends up being more expensive than a $35 webcam and more hassle, then I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I'll link to this holder though, because this is a really cool link, Esther. This is a good link. Logitech C920 / C922. They're like $100 roughly. Might be inflated a bit because of COVID stuff. And this one I would say Elgato 60 FPS. Or what's it called again? Elgato capture card. No worries, Pixel. You're good. You're good. HD60S. Okay. That's what. Hey, kids. Welcome. How's it going? Welcome on in. You got bad luck? Man, no kidding, Matt. I'm so sorry about that. And how much is a HD60S these days? Okay, wait. Console camera. Windows. Let's say PlayStation 5. Oh, I see. But if I do a laptop. HD60. Thanks, Toby. I appreciate the posture check redemption. Going really good, kids. How are you? Welcome on in. How was your Christmas? Okay, right. Well, how expensive is it? Okay, $200. That's a lot. What's this one? $400. Nope. Okay, I bet that's the 60S Plus. So if I don't say PS5, I say PS4. Yeah, okay. There's the S Plus and the S. And the S is probably less than $200. 120? Okay. This is 180, wow. And that probably went up because of COVID again. Tiger Track, deep cover, and clamp down for transformers are okay, but they won't help. $1 bajillion for me, okay. NVIDIA RTX voice. I've tried it, Sidewinder, but I have a mixer, so I don't really need it very much myself. Because the mixer, like, does a lot of the work for me. Have you used it, Sidewinder? Yeah, or, I mean, you probably got it before COVID, right? So I'll say, like, 130. Because I know what you mean. I've seen it for 120 also. I don't know why it's so expensive on this site. Oh, you got on sale. Oh, okay. Wow, it's really $179. That seems so expensive. And the one I have is even more expensive. The one I have is like $300. Okay, oh, wow. Almost $350 now. That's insane. That's insane. Wow. You have the 60S? Gotcha. Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Sidewinder. I don't have a lot of background noise where I am, but if I did, I'm sure it'd really come in handy. Wave 3 mic is good mic and mixer? Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. The mic looks really cool. Oh, what the heck is this? That's hilarious. They want $87 for this? What? That's crazy. That's so overpriced. The one I gave Donnie is better than this. It has HDMI and it has these in one device, and they don't sell it anymore. It was just Game Capture HD. They don't sell it anymore. The composite Elgato thing is overpriced. Yeah, it's seriously overpriced. I agree. That's like outrageous. I think I paid for the Game Capture HD, which has these composite, and it has HDMI, and it was like the same price or less expensive than this. Like Elgato Game Capture HD. Yeah, they're gonna feed me all the stuff I don't want, but see if I can find the listing for it. Okay, this is the one that I used to have that I gave to Donnie. Oh my gosh. This thing. This is a terrible picture of it, but here's a good picture of it. This thing. Does the other side have it? Well, you got the idea. It had composite and it had HDMI. Yeah, Vidaki, nice. Oh, Super Mario 64 runs. Very awesome. Very awesome. Wave 3 is a good $160 mic, but it does come with the audio mixer free. Yeah, you're right. Kidding me. I would say Voice Meter is also a good mixer, though, and it's completely free. So I'll put that down too. Blue Yeti 130 or Wave 3 for 130. Ooh, voice meter is really good. Congratulations, Esther, on redeeming a custom emote ad. You can DM me whatever emote you'd like, and I add it to my Discord server. Make sure you include the name of the emote too, so that I know what name to give it in the Discord. I live with 2 siblings, so background noise is inevitable. Gotcha. That makes sense. Gigabytes, yeah. Congratulations, Esther, on using 25,000 points to unlock that. And it looks like she's unlocking something related to Cheem, and I'm not sure exactly what that is, but 65.4k more. Wow, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Alright, so as far as lighting recommendations, because it's more convenient for me, I'm gonna go to my own website. And these are the two things I'd recommend. In fact, I wouldn't recommend using one over the other. I'd recommend using both of them. This little light has served me very well. This little selfie light thing. And it's only $24. Guess you could say I like hanging around here. I guess so, Esther. The proof's in the pudding. Creative predictions I could. Predictions? Could you sell like 29K my way, please? Thanks. Predictions? Wait, seriously? Oh, predictions as like the feature on Twitch. Huh. If I had space in my room, I would. Florida lighting is horrible. Oh, space in your room. Well, this lighting thing only clamps onto your monitor, Memory Martin. It doesn't require much more room. This one requires a bit more room, but not much. I have this light also. This one is like the extra bonus one that you don't really need. I have a recommendation for a light, but it is an Amazon link, and those links are huge. Kiss-me, you can shorten them. All you need in a Amazon link URL is amazon.com/dp/ whatever ID it has. Like, I'll show you. Ready? So see this little itty bitty link? It loads the page just fine. Even though the one that you get is some ridiculous long string. You don't even need to use tinyURL or bit.ly. You can just shorten the link for no matter what kind of listing it is. It doesn't need to be super duper long. It just needs to be. Oh, well, obviously if you're not a sub or VIP, you can't post links at all. People like leave the middle part that has like the name of the product in it, and that's only there for SEO. You don't even need it. My monitor and drawing tablet usually take up my desk. Gotcha. You can't even like clamp some on the side of your monitor. Hey Aunt, how's it going? Yeah, you got a tier 3 sub gifted to you from Gigabytes in chat. Well guys, we have a little bit of a break. We'll come right back after these very important messages. Please do not go away.
Hi, I'm David. I work in IT. I help fix people's computers. And in between installing software and removing viruses, I get thirsty. So I like to simmer down and drink a berry lemonade Jones soda. This is how I Jones. How do you Jones?
Thank you for redeeming that. Very epic. Thank you. Always remember to enjoy a lovely Jones soda whenever you can. Yeah, tier 3. Tier 3. That means you have access to 2 more emotes than most people here. You can use... Let me think if I can remember which ones are tier 3. I think Kappa is tier 3 and Gotham is tier 2, if I recall correctly. So you can use Kappa and Gotham, whereas most people cannot. So enjoy that privilege. Hey Smurf Master, welcome.
Good evening everyone. Getting a small break from the family to stop by and say hi.
Andrew, thank you for the 100 bits.
I hope you all had a wonderful weekend.
I had a wonderful weekend. How was yours? How was your Christmas, my friend? I saw you posting Merry Christmas in Discords, but I didn't get to hear how yours went. Welcome on in. Those lights work amazingly. And really cheap for 45 or 2. Nice, kids. If you post in the Discord, I'll check it out. Post in like tech or something and I'll check it out. I'd say voice meter or Go XLR Mini. I would definitely consider this to be bonus though. I don't think you need a Go XLR Mini. So like here's a really long URL, right? That Amazon spits out. Usually it's even longer than this, right? But this whole like long title, you can literally just get rid of it. Like if I just delete it like this, it goes to the same exact location with just this shortened link. So I don't think you have to like have that super long one. Monado Avocado, welcome. This is Monado Avocado. Well, come on in. How are you? I'm glad to hear that, Andrew. That's wonderful. I had a great one also. Thank you again for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that. Oh. So, kids, if you get permitted, you have 60 seconds to post it. Oh, you posted it already. I missed that because of the Jones break. Oh. Cool. I like this. Which colored lens do you use? Do you use the white light, the yellow light, or the blue or red light? You don't recommend these? You hated them? Really? You've used these before, Esther? Huh. No. I don't mean Kappa like Kappa. I mean David V. Kappa. Ant Crazy Gamer. You goofball. You goof. Such harsh lighting. Yeah, that was my fear looking at it. Wait, $250? Did I pay that much for it? Holy crumbs. Hold on, I want to view the order, but I want to block the screen first in case it shows any personal information that I wouldn't want revealed. Wow, yeah, okay, I spent less money than $250. I spent $220 for it. So it's gone up a little bit, but it's not even in stock right now. It comes in stock on the 10th. Wow. I'm glad it's finally out of stock, or going to be back in stock, I should say. Nice, Pixel. Enjoy some Mega Man. I'll say $250 here. For Stream Deck, I would say you don't need an XL. You can just get a standard Stream Deck. Just don't get a mini. I feel like that's really not worth it. So $150 for a Stream Deck. Okay. Yeah, this is really adding up price-wise. That's right, Ant. That's correct. We're looking at just some basics here. I'm playing the ZX games before I play the Zero games. Why is that, Pixel? Any particular reason? Because for me, it isn't harsh at all. You can change the light level a bunch. Oh, excuse me. Huh. Looks like there's some dissent in the chat about whether or not those lights are good. Hello, Scott. How are you, man? I wonder if I can get away with using my MIDI button board as a makeshift Stream Deck. Probably, if it supports macros. You probably can, Radzo. Oh, Pam. I love that character from The Office, Scott. Thank you. That's a really good Office character. So thanks for having her say hi to me. Appreciate that. They look cooler? Gotcha. Okay, so that was the reason. Another bonus is a green screen. I'm not like... I'm not saying you should get one, but under bonus, I have no problem saying getting a green screen is good. And most people I know have headphones, so even saying have headphones is like... At this point, I'd recommend using headphones, even though I don't like headphones. What you talking about, Scott? I'm not a wise guy. This is slander and lies. Slander and lies in my chat. The reason why I think headphones are important is because it reduces any chance of echoing, like sound coming out of speakers and going into the mic, or also helps you to more closely monitor everything too. So when you're monitoring your own, you know, if you're monitoring your own sounds and your own voice, hearing them in your headphones is really helpful. And there's not really a replacement for that. Like, you can't do that as much without headphones. Radzo, come on. You're smart. You know you are. Metroidvanias? Nice. Cool, I haven't heard of those. Like, I know what Metroidvanias are, but I haven't heard of the the Mega Man games that are like Metroidvanias. Alright, so an overview of my recommendations. Twitch, Stream Elements. I'm not going to count for everything. Like, I'm not going to count for Nightbot and, like... I'm going to assume you haven't heard of Streamlabs and hope you never deal with it. Kizami redeemed Mr. IT for 8,000 points. Alright, we're going to redeem this terrifying video. Please, please, enjoy. Hi, I'm David. I work in IT. And in between installing software and removing viruses, I get computers. I'm super OP in my life, and I have a harem and people love me anime style. What are you talking about? Who is the hacker 4chan? Tradition is just peer pressure from dead relatives. Do you know how serious this is? This is not family friendly. Don't you know what your actions have consequences? When will you learn? Has it really come to this? And I just gave them all your aliases. You've never seen a stream like this. It's the biggest, it's the best. We have the biggest and best screams in the world. Nobody makes screams like us. Don't be scared, stupid. Don't be scared. Join us. I'm not proud of what you just witnessed, but there it is. Oh, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Hello. Well, I hope you enjoyed that terrifying video that JS Grant himself made. You don't feel safe, Matt? I don't know if anyone would feel safe after watching that video. Your favorite, Matt? Glad you guys enjoyed it. Our very own JS Grant made that video, so thanks for redeeming it, kids. I appreciate that. Okay. So, basic specs. I wonder if we should recommend a certain, like, graphics card or something, or if that's not necessary. I recommend using OBS Studio or OBS Live if you use Stream Elements, which, I mean, based on my recommendations, you are. Watch Mr. Robot. I bet you anything there's Mr. Robot references in that video. Probably a bunch of random references in there. I don't put any recommendations under headphones, mostly because I have the ones that I like, but I literally can't wear them right now because of my glasses. I get a headache when I wear them, and glasses. So, kind of lame that I can't wear my headphones I like to wear. I just can't remember. Gotcha. Gotcha. I miss a lot of Grant's references, to be fair. So. Alright, so we have Esther's mic here. You got the Blue Snowball, the Blue Yeti, or the Wave 3. For camera, we've got use your phone, which in theory works, although again, it's hard for me to recommend something I've never tried. I can vouch for these webcams because I know Esther used to use the one, and Nick uses the other one, and I use the last one. I've been using it for almost 6 years now, so. Gonna see if Mana goes live. Yeah, I don't know what his schedule is right now, Memory Martin. Honestly, at the start, a webcam isn't even that important. I don't know. I actually think it is important. I think a webcam is important to start, to be honest. We were talking about this earlier. I think you can start streaming without a webcam, but I think you either need to like have a virtual, like be a V streamer or something. You need some kind of personality that's on stream, to be honest. So, gonna start at 7 p.m. his time. Gotcha. Then I mean, we'll see. I guess he's pretty good. He's pretty communicative and good about, you know, keeping folks up to date on what he's doing. So. I just poured a bunch of water on the ground. All right. So under bonus, we got lighting, mixer, stream deck, and green screen. I actively do not recommend using Streamlabs OBS, XSplit, or Twitch Studio. I seriously do not recommend that. Do not recommend using macOS or Linux. And I do not recommend streaming from console. I just remember seeing many streamers without a webcam that do all right. So yeah, I mean that it depends on about whom you're speaking, Kizami, because if you mean some of the most popular streamers that don't use webcams, they've been streaming for years, so they've had years to grow their brand. But now the market's so saturated, and you're competing for so many people's attention against so many other creators. You have to stand out, and honestly, if you don't have a webcam, it's just like way harder to grow. Like it's almost worth spending $30 or whatever to get a decent webcam. Or if you can just use your phone somehow. I swear Streamlabs must be mining Bitcoin with the CPU it takes up. Yeah, right, Fabry? I can't stand Streamlabs OBS anymore. Oh, well, because Streamlabs OBS used to be really good, Memory Martin, and then over time it's gotten really clunky and really resource hoggy, and it's full of a bunch of unnecessary stuff. Like, it basically tries to be a one-stop shop for everything, so it is convenient at the get-go, but there's a few big disadvantages to it. The first big disadvantage is that it's a resource hog and it's just really clunky. That's the first one. The second one is you can't stay up to date with the latest version of OBS Studio because it's not a true fork. Like it's its own fork of OBS. So anytime mainline OBS gets updated, it doesn't. Which is why I prefer OBS Live, which is Stream Elements add-on. It's this plugin for OBS Studio. And then you have to pay to use more than 2 UI themes. Really? Like on their overlay store? I didn't know that. And what's the third reason I don't like Streamlabs OBS? I noticed that with Prime. Yeah, they try to upsell you on stuff. I don't know. I just don't like Streamlabs OBS anymore. I vastly prefer... Oh, the other one is certain plugins don't work with Streamlabs OBS. So, like, you can get these really cool add-ons for OBS Studio that do not work with Streamlabs OBS. So, resources, you can't stay on the latest version of OBS, and there are plugins that are incompatible with Streamlabs OBS. So. Oh, for the program itself, not the stream. Oh, that's weird. So people told me that now you have to have Prime to stream on more than one platform? Really? What? That's a yikes for me, Chief. It's a big yikes for me. What if you use like Restream or something? How does it get around that? So yeah, I want to move to OBS, but all my scenes are in slobs. I'm pretty sure you can just import all your scenes into OBS Studio if you use OBS Live. I'm pretty sure you can do that. I would never recommend Streamlabs OBS to anybody at this point. I'm gonna like actually bold this as something I really don't recommend. Imagine a team of Mega Men working together. That would be dope. Alright, I'm pretty happy with this list so far. In terms of like getting started with like stream elements though, I'm curious because I know people will have questions because they're very used to how OBS works, but they're not very used to how like stream elements works. So I'm wondering if it's helpful to like kind of walk through what making an overlay in stream elements looks like. You know? Because I think the interplay between OBS and stream elements is really cool. Hey, Cloudburst, what's up? There you go. Yeah, that works too. With their Mega Busters. Because, I think there's a few things that I want to show here. I don't know the best way to do it. Can I open another instance of OBS? Let's try it. Launch anyway. Okay, so, whoa. Oh, I see. So let's change this. Oh yeah, here's me messing with some stuff. Oops, I closed out of something I needed. Dang it. This might mess everything up for me later, but let's see. View Twitch activity feed. Okay. There we go. So there's something I want to show you guys. This is me messing with some melee scene stuff, but in OBS Studio, there's an option to profile import, which is what I assume would help you out. Yeah, I think even with OBS Live, there's like an importer from Streamlabs OBS you can use. Anyway, there's one thing I wanted to show you guys, and if I go to okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you guys an example of things you can do with nested scenes in OBS and stream elements. That's actually super sick. So if I create a new scene, it's like a divider, and then I create a new scene called alerts, and then I add a new browser source called alerts, alerts test 1920 by 1080. Okay. So what I've done is I've created a scene called alerts, right? Oh, I see. I'll call this stream elements alerts. Okay. So now we're on our main scene, and I'm gonna add. I want you guys. It's a little small. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. But if I click plus, and one of the options is actually scene. Do you see that on the screen there? Luigi on the top right. I know, with the backwards L. Yeah, that's actually an issue I reported to the creator of this overlay thing. Anyway, if you click scene, you can pick the alerts scene that you created, and it's over everything, right? So if I simulate a follow, sorry, it's gonna be really overwhelming and crazy when I click this, but hopefully, see. Hopefully it won't play too many times in a row when I simulate this. But first let's go to the alert scene so I can demonstrate what I'm talking about. So let's say someone random follows me, right? So see how it appears there? If I click the scene I was on, so this is this source. If I go to scene 1 and I click it again, it's gonna appear. See that? Because the reason why it appears there is because it's on top. It's from pulling from this scene. So if I add like an image, test. I'm just trying to find a placeholder image to show as an example. know what I'll do. I'll grab a photo of myself. That's very high res. Oh gosh, this is very, very, very high res. Okay. Okay, this is way bigger than it needs to be, but just for the sake of a demonstration, here's me, right? So I've got several layers here. I've got my image. I'll create a text one too. Text test. I like cheese. Okay, so this is a scene, right? If I go back to this scene, look at that. It's completely overlaid on top of this other scene that I can toggle because the entire scene I've imported as a source in this scene. So that's what you call a nested scene, right? So, could you like go over to my setup and see what I could do to make it better? Yeah. Thank you. I can totally do that. I want to look at a lot of stuff. Although maybe that's the thing we should do for some characters in Male HD. Like mirroring their poses, Radza? What do you mean? Because like I'm working with the guy who made this, and he was interested in having Male HD stuff for this. So we can talk about that. So anyway, like this nested scene, right? You have all these you have all these individual sources in this scene. But because I've nested the alert scene in this scene, I can toggle the entire thing in one go. Yeah, no problem, Memory Martin. No problem. So like, this is really nice for like alerts and stuff. So if I click this example, follow alert. See, look at that. That overlays on any scene that it's part of. See? So, another thing I'd recommend is with most browser sources that you have, you'll want to right click and make sure shut down source when not visible is not checked. But anything you don't need to be running all the time, like an intro screen, for example, or something that gets preloaded, I would maybe shut down sources that you don't need if you can. And I also, at any moment there's audio to be controlled, I would check the control audio via OBS, and then you can actually set the audio like independently from the rest of your sounds. So that's something I want to recommend too. So on my list here, recommendations, stream elements. Or I might go, I want to do like an overview on what to do there. Control all audio in OBS per source. Use audio monitoring device. Sounds good, Pixel. Drop a comment when you come back, my friend. Coming back to a black screen with David and the phrase "I like cheese" that context is very funny. Yeah. It's just a demonstration. It's just a demonstration of what I'm trying to show here. Oops, what the heck? No, do not do grid mode. Grid mode kind of quirky though. That's so weird. I guess in some ways this is just more efficient, but it's such a jarring change. I would say do that. I would say utilize, what are they called? Browsers? They're called docs. Utilize docs. I love cheese link, especially Gouda. Smoked Gouda is really good. I don't get it very often, but it's very good. Porn stream widgets, I guess we can call it. So I will okay, forgive me. This is gonna be a little crazy because we're seeing a million versions of this, but check this out. So what I've got is, this is my actual stream. Over here I've got my media queue. I can pause, skip, whatever, see what's in the queue for music, blah, 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 right? Over here I've got an activity feed. And here I've got 2 more docs that I actually pop out. I have chat, which has FrankerFaceZ and Better TV and like a bunch of stuff integrated with it, which is awesome. And then I got this Twitch feed, which keeps track of my channel point rewards and redemptions and things. So that's what I've got on another monitor. So those are all examples of docs you can use in OBS that are really helpful. I used to really like cheese when I was a kid. You don't know what your favorite one was? Yeah, cheddar's good. I think Swiss is a bit too, like, not bitter, but like, I don't know what the word is. Welcome, Dan Gaming. What's up? How do you pronounce that? Caymanbert? Samenbert? I love cheese, Annie. Dan Gaming, I am going over some basics for streaming in just like a streaming 101 type thing. As someone who watches a lot of streams but will never stream themselves, what are the worst resource-consuming things you can do while streaming? Good question. Good question. Oh, mozzarella. I think mozzarella is probably my favorite cheese. I love it. It's Camembert. Wow. Camembert. Thank you for the pronunciation, the phonetic pronunciation of it. So Lolo, to answer your question, so see how this has 3% CPU? OBS itself is tremendously like low resource intensive. It's almost a miracle as far as I'm concerned. And then by removing this really large JPEG or PNG, it went even lower to like 2%. Anyways, so OBS itself, assuming you're not using Streamlabs OBS, is actually very low resource intensive. Where things start going up is like, honestly, it kind of builds up. Let's open Task Manager and see right now. So the reason why, okay, so I have multiple OBS Studio instances open. And the reason why it's more than the 3% that you're seeing is because there's like browser pages that use up a ton of resources. So you can see there's a browser page on this OBS instance that's 10% of my CPU, whereas OBS itself is only like 4%. It's crazy. So like if I exit out of this, so in this case, in this running version of OBS is taking up 12% of CPU usage. And big reason for that is just the elements I've got running on, like, I have a lot of things running in OBS, which is going to make it run higher, but an actual, like, large percentage of it is browser sources. So things that just run from the web. So things like Stream Elements widgets, browser related stuff. But Chrome is a really big resource hog a lot of the time. If you have a ton of tabs open, Firefox, like any browser would be, especially Chrome though. Chrome's the worst offender. So I would say browsers, ironically, are probably the most resource hogging things. Why is Microsoft Teams still open? Microsoft Teams is a resource hog. I don't need this open anymore. So you really want to close everything you could possibly not need open, pretty much, I'd say. Having useless web sources would be a very resource-consuming task. Yeah, it would be. So you don't want to go overboard on the web sources and stuff. Nice. Microsoft Edge is actually really good. It is based on Chromium, though, so it is going to be pretty resource-intensive also, unfortunately. My main pasta dish I make for myself uses a blend of cheddar, Swiss, and Jack. Wow, I fully control the blend, and Jack is only really there to fill a flavor because it's more of a melty cheese than the other two. I like that, Link. I didn't know you were such a chef. That's awesome. No problem, Lolo. No problem. And, like, there'll be things like open joystick display, which is what I use sometimes for, like, for displaying my inputs on my controller. It's very high resource intensive too, actually. And I didn't know why. Right now it's not very resource intensive, but when I'm using it, it is. And I couldn't figure out why. Then I hit F12 or F11. Wait, no, wait. Control Shift I? Oh, there we go. Never mind, just click that. And it's literally just an instance of Chrome. Like, this is another Chrome-based app, like Discord, or so many of them are. And anything that's Chrome-based is just really inefficient. Like, Discord is incredibly inefficient. So also zaps a lot of usage stuff. So if you're ever streaming and you don't need to have Discord open, I would just not keep Discord open if you can help it. Oh, dang, that sucks, Memory Martin. A new computer, huh? Yeah. Use Brave. Nice. Brave is awesome. Feels like Firefox Lite with Chrome extensions. I didn't know that Brave was Chromium based. I know that the original Mozilla devs made it, but I know it's also a Chromium browser. Brave is an awesome browser. I really don't switch because Chrome is definitely a higher target for hackers. Well, sorry to break this for you. Sorry to break this to you, Dan, but anything that is gonna break Chrome will probably break Microsoft Edge also, because it's all based on the same browser. What's the bottleneck for my CPU? Good question. You can make the sources run in another browser that isn't Chrome. Hey, Empty Apartment Gaming, welcome. Howdy, thanks for being here. I would say the bottleneck of my system overall, of my PC, is probably... I'm not sure, actually. It might be my mother... What? I guess it might be my graphics card, but I just upgraded my graphics card and it's really good now. I have an i7 core processor from 2015, but really I think when I upgrade my computer next, I'll just have to upgrade the whole thing. The motherboard, the RAM, the CPU, the GPU. So, been lurking a bit. Yo! Well, I'm glad that you've been lurking. Thanks so much. I'm glad you find it interesting. Not really a chef like, say, Scott is. This is really the only dish that I've workshopped and iterated on myself. The preparation method is a bit unorthodox, but it works. Hey, more power to you. That's great. Fallout 3080. Would that make a difference in my with my current specs, Cloudburst? Like, you seem like a knowledgeable person. So here's my PC. You can see my specs here. Could I even leverage a 3080, or would I need to upgrade like my motherboard and like a bunch of stuff? Good evening. I used to watch you. What? That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I thought. But hey, you know what? I'll get there when I get there. Honestly, I've had my current rig minus the graphics card, which I've updated recently, but I've had it since 2015. That's almost in January 2015. It's almost 6 full years ago, and it served me very, very well. But recently, I built a new computer, so recently went through all the rigmarole. Did you? Nice, nice. I don't know if you're in the Discord or not, but we have a tech channel where we talk about this stuff a lot. There are people that are a lot more knowledgeable than me on this that you might enjoy talking to. Just if you want to talk tech and custom builds and stuff, that's a good place if you want to chat about that. I swear, we have some people that know a little too much about that kind of thing in there. Which Scott? Yeah, AFMAS. I thought you meant Scott the Waz at first, and I was like, I'm not sure how much of a chef he is. There's that one video with him in it doing cooking stuff, but I think it was more of a joke. Use audio monitoring device. Consolidate scenes and use. Use 1080p as a canvas size and downscale to 720p. That's very important. That's what I'd also recommend. And I would say control as much of the audio as you can with OBS too, because you want as much control over your audio as possible. That's what I would say when using this kind of software. Also, my hair's all messed up because I took a shower like 15 minutes before stream. What other things can I go over? Again, I could show more stream element stuff. I meant to go through that actually. If I create like a new one. Maybe we'll create a duplicate of one to mess around with or use the sandbox that I have. So this is what an overlay in blue image. Oh, I know what that is. I'm gonna delete the blue image. This is me messing with stuff, but like, this is what like an overlay looks like in Stream Elements, and it's actually really cool how it works because you can load in all the images, the text, like custom web widgets, all this really crazy cool stuff all you want, and layer it and resize it all in here, and then you import it into OBS as one browser source, and it's less CPU intensive. It's really cool. It's really cool. Whoa, Ant Crazy. AMD gaming laptop. Ryzen 16 gigs of memory. NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660. I think I have a 1660 also. Nice. You think that pre-built good PC is good for streaming? My way of thinking a better PC later on, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with the AMD Ryzen series at all, but all the other specs look good enough for streaming for sure. I would use your 256 solid state hard drive for your OS, and then any of your streaming files. Like I would use them for your any overlay stuff you're using that you're loading into OBS, or something that needs to be high performance, and like your game should live on there if they can. I know 256 isn't a ton of space, but if you rely on like fast load times and stuff, anything you want to load quickly, I'd put on there. I use an NVMe drive for my high performance stuff on my computer, and I have a terabyte of NVMe storage, and then I have another terabyte of standard SSD storage that I use for, and then I have another terabyte of standard hard drive that I just use for storing stuff. So okay, let's duplicate this, and I'll show you guys how this works. Let's call this test for stream. And when you create an overlay in Stream Elements, you want to make sure the base internal resolution overlay is 1080p. You pretty much want to do that. I can't think of a lot of reasons why to do anything different. Welcome back, Christy. Welcome back. Because I've been thinking about getting a PC and stream. My laptop right now is really bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your laptop's not that good. So here's an example of a Stream Elements overlay, the one that you're actually seeing right now, which is kind of meta. You can basically add things in. So here's the chat that you're seeing. I can make it invisible. I can make these all invisible on the right? So if I just make all this invisible, I'll leave everything invisible except for this border, okay? Actually, no, I'll leave chat on also. Okay. So if I copy this URL, I'm going to show you guys right before your very eyes. I'm going to update the And turn off my monitor. Okay. And I'm going to update the stream elements overlay URL. Look at this. Ready? Boom. It's just, whoa, before my very eyes. Exactly, Christy. So I made those updates in stream elements, right? And all I did was I grabbed the URL of this scene, so all these widgets that used to be here are now all invisible. And it's just the screen, chat, and like the other things that are on the screen. So if I make it invisible, you can see it's toggling on and off. This is an OBS, right? If you didn't know, I believe it's less work to handle Roblox than Minecraft. I don't know anything about Roblox. You could very well be correct on that. I think Roblox feels like a lot smaller than Minecraft. But all right, so that's an example of like how cool it is. So if let's see, I'll add an image. Static. Okay, so if I want to insert this cool Blippi GG logo, I can like resize it, put it on the overlay where I want. You can name the layer. So like if I wanted to put it up here on the overlay and hit save, watch this. Boom! There it is. It's that easy. And this is all one layer in OBS. So all the changes I make, I can make this invisible. I hit save, it disappears. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how that works. Got you, Dan. Do you have console games you want to play? It's good enough to play Minecraft at 59 FPS. You can't really play those big PC games. Gotcha. You got a really good laptop for Christmas? Let's go, Dan. That's great. Glad to hear that. So anyway, yeah, that's an example of some of the cool stuff you can do. And of course, if I turn on more elements and I hit save, they'll appear. There's no derp though. There we go. So yeah, that's how you can use overlays in stream elements. Pretty awesome. Now just like that. Oh wait. Why didn't it come back? Whoa, what? Oh. I copied the wrong URL, I think. There we go. Now I got all my stuff back. That was weird. So yeah, let's delete this. Stream Elements is definitely worth getting. It's basically, if you load a 1080p image in OBS, it takes a pretty big performance hit compared to if you load a 1080p image on a Streamlabs overlay and then just load that as a web source. Overall, it's way less resource intensive, especially for videos. So like if you have videos like my Donkey Kong stuff, it used to be a video in OBS. And now it just plays on a Stream Elements web instance, and it's way, way better. Nope, chat's not missing, Christy. It just has to reset. Because whenever it refreshes, it like all goes away. Really good, Annie. The lecturing is going well so far. It wasn't really a lecture stream like I planned. It was more like a note-taking overview of streaming, but thanks for asking, though. I appreciate that. So, yeah. Yeah. Also, if you guys use, I'll use it in chat and demonstrate. If there's certain commands you can use that make an image show up in the bottom right or bottom left corner of stream now. So if you use that, or if you use, what's another one to use? I think it's, is it melee disc? Oh yeah, I think you have to use them like 60 seconds apart for them to work. Something like that. Should go back to doing my programming lessons streams like once a month. What programming lesson streams? That sounds awesome. I didn't know you did those. That's really cool. Stream lectures are better than college lectures. I'm glad you think so. Glad you think so, Annie. So now if you use the melee disc command, it'll show the melee, my melee disc on stream. And that's something you can do with Stream Elements, which is really cool. So that's like a designated spot I have to show things based on commands. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, fun fact too, the like below the labels on the bottom, that's a whole separate scene in OBS. So get ready, you're not gonna see me for a second. But if I go to video, elements, and labels, here we are. This is, if you redeem the Falcon Knight thing right now, so I'll redeem Falcon Knight.
Show me a move.
See? So that appears on that scene. And if I go to this blank scene, this is where the challenger approaching stuff appears. So back to when we got raided, right? So when Kickabyte's raided and I press challenger, see this plays, right? So that's all on one screen. So when I go to my 16:9 screen, Connor, hey dude, 13 months.
Sup?
Good to see you, Connor. How are you, man? We're doing a little how to stream the easy way stream right now. How are you, man? How's your Christmas? Technically, all games are DLC for that PC or console, or both, because you need to buy the console first to buy the game. Really? Did a couple last year for Python. Really? That's awesome. I didn't know that, Memory Martin. I like educational streams. That's fun. I appreciate that 13-month resub, Connor. Thanks so much, man. Nice little break from the work. Let's go. When does your break start, Connor? Mine starts on Wednesday, actually. So I only have to work tomorrow, and then I'm done for the week. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, 13 months, dude. That's pretty crazy. All right, Dan. I won't quote you on that, I promise. I promise. So yeah, so I guess it's funny, people that use Stream Elements swear by it, but it's hard to get people to go from Streamlabs widgets to Stream Elements, and I understand why. But really, if you want to be as like efficient as possible on your computer and stuff, you want to use Stream Elements. You want to use Stream Elements. 23rd through the 3rd off. Yo, that's awesome. Dude. I like that. I think I took some vacation time, so 28th and the 29th I work. But other than that, I've been having some time off, which is really nice. All right, good night, Lolo. Happy New Year to you also. I will stream tomorrow, probably. Peace. Nice, Memory Martin. HTML and CSS, huh? I know a very, very light amount. Enough to where I would feel comfortable putting my knowledge this high on a list like this. It's my lowest skill I have on here, but I feel like it is a differentiator because a lot of people are kind of scared of markup language stuff, even though it's not that bad. Hey, Cashpoon, what's up, man? How are you? Dude, I saw a little bit of Andrew playing Cheese Nip Rescue 2, and man, it looks so funny. You put so much work into it, and I just, it's so cool. I love it. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I'm happy to have lent my voice to it, even though I had no idea why, or like what I was saying, or the significance of what it was. You're fine, Dan. You're fine. You're fine. We're not the grammar Nazi stream. Wait, what? What streaming software do you use? Stream? What did I mean to write here? Oh, was it? What? I did not mean to write stream here. I'm very confused about this. I don't know why I did this. Yeah, you stream to stream, right? What? What did I mean? Oh. Yeah, maybe you're right, Memory Mart. Maybe I meant to write stream elements here. Yeah, I think you're actually right. I think you're right. Thank you. I think that is correct. I think this is a pretty good list of like stuff to get. Alright, what we're going to do now is we're going to react to other Streaming 101 videos.
I'm Trump.
Oh, this person's name is Trump. That's funny. Alright, we're going to see. I don't know how to... I'm concerned about the language on these videos, but hey, I recognize this guy, so we'll just see what he says. This is from 2018.
Are you a new streamer and you want to learn how to
Yeah,
grow and
I'm
improve
new.
your stream? You're in luck. In this video
Nice
right
memory.
here, we're going over the top 5 common mistakes that are stopping you from growing.
Top
on
5
platforms
common
like Twitch,
mistakes.
YouTube, and Mixer. Let's go. Hey, it's me, it's Wild coming at
Rip
you for my
Mixer.
stream support video where I bring you the best tips.
That's what I
and
thought,
tricks.
Memory.
And if this is
That's
your
what I
first
thought.
time
I mean, I know this
you wanna
guy.
learn how to grow and live for you. As much as I hate to admit it, when you have more viewership, you generally have a lot more fun while you're playing games or streaming on platforms like Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer.
It's true.
There's no way around it. You get more engagement, you get more chatters, you have more laughs, you have more smiles. But there are 5 common mistakes that are preventing a lot of you new
5
streamers out
common
there
mistakes.
from growing. So I'm going to go over all of them, and if you make these changes, I guarantee you'll have better streams and you'll have more engagement, which means more eyeballs will be coming your way. So let's go. The first problem I see is that a lot of streamers don't have any avenues that funnel towards their channel. And the best solution for this, you need to have social media work for you. I can't tell you how many times I go into a streamer's channel, and when I scroll down through the channel to where their panels are, there's no way to reach them. There's no Twitter, there's no Instagram, there's no Snapchat, there's no social media presence. And a lot of streamers
Really?
that start out say, hey, I don't need one or I don't have one because there's nobody that's going to see me. That is completely wrong thinking. Don't think
The common
that
mistake
at
I
all.
see is
How
that
do you expect
the
to
game
grow if
volume
you're
is
not
too
giving
loud?
people the option
Yeah.
to find you
Because
or
people don't know how to mix their audio usually, and they're way quieter than they should be. So then to compensate for the quiet mic, they make everything really quiet. So either it's all very quiet, or the game is way too loud compared to them.
Drop in your hyperlink right there, and this will allow people to find you on your Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever social
This
media
is such a
platform
weird thing that people
you'd like
don't
to
do.
use.
Making social
And
media
as for
accounts is
extra
a
pro tip,
breeze.
I recommend having a chat command, so that way people can type in something like an exclamation point Twitter or exclamation point Instagram, and your bot, if you have one, which we'll get into at a later point down the road, will populate in the chat the URLs for these
Imagine not
people
having a
so that way
bot
they
or
can
social
follow
media.
right from the channel that they're in, and it makes it extra easy. And the nice thing about this is it actually does a little bit of extra promoting for you within your own channel. If you're a new channel, you need to really concentrate on being discovered. And it's extremely hard to
Be
do
discovered.
if you're only streaming saturated games. What's a saturated game? Anything that has a lot of people that are currently streaming that game, where when you enter into that
I don't
category
think this
or channel,
matters at all.
you're gonna be all the way at the bottom, and people are pretty fickle. It takes a lot.
You
of
need to
energy
stream
for
what you
someone
want to
scroll
stream.
that
There
far.
are categories that have a higher chance of you getting discovered through Twitch, but I wouldn't necessarily consider Twitch like a discovery platform. This is kind of outdated, like, recommendation.
Fortnite and PUBG and League of Legends. You know what? I do too. That's fine. Let's just do something a little bit different to help you grow. Let's just say you stream on an average of a week, 3 days a week. Make one of those days for growth. Find something that's in the 11 and down. 11 and down.
Yeah, I think this is
Try to
2018.
play something with other people. An open community game with
It's
playing
not even that old,
viewers
but
or friends or something like that, and you welcome other. You do what you want, but don't come complaining to me when you're not growing. You have to make some sacrifices, and you have to be strategic about
I
how
agree
you
with that
are when
sentiment.
you stream online. And streaming unsaturated games into the mix to help you grow, hell, it's one of the best ways to do it. If you're streaming, one of the common things that everybody's gonna always run into, you need to take a break. You need to get water, you need to get food, heck, you need to go to the bathroom. But one of the biggest mistakes that I see everybody make when they're starting out is they don't have a be right back screen.
Gotcha.
Imagine if you came into the channel and all you saw was this.
no be right back screen.
If you're just starting, or you can use a program like canva.com. Back in 5 minutes. Be right back in 3 minutes. Be right back in 15 minutes. This gives kind of an indication.
Shelf stream,
for
chair
people
stream.
How long they know you're going to take, because hey, they might want to take a break also.
People like
and
the
they'll come
chair
back,
stream.
Or they may leave the stream, check out the screen. Here's a little note that my friend Primal Instincts shared with me. He's a great PS4 streamer. When you're going to take a break, give people at least something interesting to look at. Don't look down at the ground in your game, and don't put it on a lame screen, or you're just looking at a wall. At least give
Don't put it
something
at a
people
lame
visually
screen.
enough. And I try my best to give you all some good advice out there. But if you want some of the best advice for the biggest common mistake that I see people do on Twitch,
Chair
YouTube, and Mixer,
streams are quite
is
popular.
you're not going out and reaching to other streamers that are in your niche. Let me ask
He
you
did
a
all the
legitimate
artwork behind
question.
him?
How often
Wow.
do you engage with other streamers
That's awesome,
that are
Memory
playing
Martin.
the same game or
Talented
category
artist.
as you?
Crazy.
It's probably not that often. And you're really hurting yourself by doing this. In fact, some of my biggest growth are from people within
Should
my
be
niche.
niche.
I do creative streaming, and I know
NICHE.
a lot of people within creative, and they help me, and I help them grow. It's a really good turn of events that helps snowball me to get bigger and better numbers. And in fact,
Okay,
this
I
is
agree
some of
with
the
this.
best ways I've made friends on Twitch.
So I agree with this. I would say, like Family Friendly Live has done this really well with the networking stuff of like similar streams. I think Family Friendly Live is a really good opportunity for doing what he's talking about here.
They help me out, I help them out. We all help each other's reach on social media grow, and we all help each other's growth on Twitch. This is one of the best ways. A lot of you need to start jumping out of your shells or reaching out of your shells and start talking and engaging in other communities. I guarantee you, if you do this, you will start to grow so fast, your head will spin. And like I said before, the best kicker is you're probably going to make some exciting brand new friends. And
Yeah, you just have to invest time. You can't just like networking doesn't just mean you'll grow. You have to like invest in other people's communities and stuff. Because like, you know, you can't just go from not doing anything to being part of a network or a group and then just getting growth. You have to like if someone invests in your stream or whatever, like okay, so if there's a newer streamer that streams family friendly content and they invest time in my stream and I see them in chat and stuff or my Discord, I am so much more likely to raid them or to like retweet them or send people to their stream or whatever than if they just randomly we're just part of the team and maybe they're a good fit for the team and they applied or whatever, but they didn't show any interest in me or didn't hang out in my streams. Other people might stream them and that's great, but I mean I would be less likely to. Now I like rating anybody on the team, but that's because I like the team and I'm fond of the team and I founded the team. But in general, if the way that you can like make networking work is if you invest time in other places. That'll often pay you back in dividends, in my experience. He had it both at TC and a TwitchCon. And was making these landscapes all 3 days. Wow, that's awesome. What? I forgot we were both at TwitchCon the same year. I wanted to buy one, but they were a bit too pricey. Gotcha.
TwitchCon coming up. That's an awesome thing.
Not TwitchCon.
All right, we're up to one of the most important tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you of common mistakes that people make that do live streaming. You know what people always ask me? Hey, can you check out my channel and let me know what I do good or do bad or what I could improve on? You know, sadly, I wish I had the time to do that, but I don't for everybody out there. But you know who does? You. I highly recommend you check out your past broadcasts and your clips. And if you don't like watching yourself because, you know, it's kind of awkward, and I understand that, or you might be too cringy, or it's, you know, it's just one of those things that doesn't resonate with you. And I get that, you know. I don't like watching myself either. I'm surprised I can even talk to you guys on camera. But it's one of the best ways to find out what you do right. You get to see if your stream's buffering. You get to see if the quality's coming through well. You get to notice if people can hear you by your audio, or if the music's drowning you out, or the gameplay's drowning out. You get to see if there's huge chunks of silence in there. Or maybe you're not reading anybody's comments and a lot of comments are flying by. There are so many things that you can learn from your own stream.
You should watch your own streams.
You don't have to watch the entire thing. If you stream for 3 hours, I don't recommend watching the 3 hours. You can look at different chunks and see what you do well. But if you start clicking through at different parts of a stream and you notice you're just sitting there doing this, probably need to start making improvements.
Yeah.
Also, when you look at clips, see what clips are the most engaging. You guys can go to your clip collection and see what are ranked at the highest and see what people like. Generally, people like fun and entertaining things. I mean, that's why people show up to Twitch anyway. If you're not sure how to do that, it's under your Twitch settings and you just archive your If you can correct these 5 mistakes, you'll start to have growth.
There you go. I also like Alpha Gaming stuff. Harris Heller's recommendations are usually pretty good. Except for this video. This was a dumb video. But most of his videos are really good. OBS for brand new streamers. I wonder if he's going to talk about
Doing something fun today. This is a video that's been on my request list for probably the longest. But there's just been
so
done
much product reviews for what's the best mic, camera, etc. Nice. Yeah, I've seen those videos
all
too.
All those things that haven't quite found the channel. Some of you guys, not so much. And then some of you are just opening it up for the first time and are completely overwhelmed and have no idea what anything means. There are so many cool things in OBS that no matter which of those people you identify with in your skill set of OBS, there's always something new to learn. So let's go through the software.
Have you, Christy? Nice.
Let's just build a stream together.
Harris Heller makes good content.
Basics, like setting up multiple scenes.
I can't remember his name. He like collabed with Harris Heller. He's really good.
Within the vast array of options
What's his name?
in the settings tab that you've probably seen before. And I'll show you some of my favorite, more advanced tips and tricks that are actually really easy to do if you just know what to click on. Things like custom widgets and doing something fun to switch scenes automatically. Sounds good? Go.
Wait, what? Oh, here we go. This guy.
By the way, huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, owns.tv. They are your one. With OBS launched and completely bare bones, this is what it looks like. You know, it's weird. You got a bunch of weird boxes. You've got some stuff here with milliseconds, and you got a bunch of little buttons here. In the beginning, all we're going to look at is this area, which is our preview. It shows us what our stream looks like. And these 2 areas right here. These are all your different scenes. So you can have a gameplay scene here that has your gameplay and your camera over in the corner.
Okay, this guy nutty.
And then you can have an intermission scene here.
This guy's
which
good.
Would be obviously between games when you can blow your camera up larger and interact with your chat a little bit more. And as you switch between them, the different sources are all the elements inside that scene. So essentially, these are folders with all the different things.
Oh, really? No, Mary Martin. Harris Heller's really good.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this scene gameplay, so I know which one it is. So we got our scene. Let's add in a source. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our display. So right off the bat, I know this is a little bit inception-y because we're looking at our display, which also shows our display.
Dude, he's got so many desktop icons.
You get the point.
Shame on Harris Heller for having desktop icons.
And what it's capturing. So we're going to hit OK. And you can see anything I might bring up, whether it's my Stream Deck software or whatever.
Oh, sorry, Mary Martin.
Right here. Anyone that's watching my stream can see my screen now. Now, there are a couple different ways of capturing your screen. One more that you should be aware of. Another one, instead of using display capture, would be game capture. You can see if I add this, I'm going to get rid of game capture by hitting this little mark connected to my cam link right now. And so we're gonna go with cam link 4K. And generally device default is fine. But if you need to go to custom and do a custom resolution, that's an option for you. Let's
Look how
shrink
delayed
this
the webcam
down
is.
because it's our gameplay scene. We're gonna put it over here. I'm trying to like move this so you don't get that weird Inception-y stuff. I'm trying to cover it with the webcam. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, maybe something like that. If I were gaming, I'd probably zoom in a little bit more during this scene. And there we go. We got our gameplay. We got our camera. Honestly, that is the bare
It's a
bones.
tiny amount of
You
desktop
can start a
icons.
stream
I'm a
like
mess.
that, and people will enjoy it.
All right, this is the part where I'm going to show you my desktop right now. Completely empty. I have not used desktop icons in about 4 years. It's much easier. Harris Heller. So Alpha Gaming is his like main channel. So here's the link to that, Memory Martin. Welcome back, Pixel. Welcome back.
Now, one thing to note is that the order of the sources is important. So you can see.
So yeah, this is
right
like
now, my
basic
webcam
scene
is
setup
on top
stuff.
of
I
my
want to see if he
display
shows up like
and that's
nesting
entirely
scenes or
because
not.
my webcam is on top of my go to add, and I would go to media source, which is where you import videos. And we're gonna call this animated.
So for this,
overlay.
the
So
only
here's
kind of
one that I got
videos,
during a Fiverr video that I
the only like, so this is a WebM video, right? The only kind of videos that I would ever insert into OBS, there's no music, sorry, is because like if it's a stinger transition, that's what I would do. Over half my desktop is filled with icons. Annie, you don't need that. You can use the start menu in Windows for anything you'd want to pin on your desktop, and it's just a lot cleaner that way. It's all tucked away in a menu. It's not like you can enjoy your desktop background without anything covering it. I recommend just moving everything to your start menu here. Yeah, no problem, Memory, no problem.
shot a while ago. Fiverr artist animated this for me. You can see it's really subtle. It's simple, but it's kind of stylized. You got this little thing moving. You got this little thing flashing here. So if you wanted to add an animated overlay, that's where you'd find it. But I'm going to get rid of it by hitting this little minus button. There's one more thing to add to this scene to make it.
You never use your start menu? I almost never use it too, but the main way I use it, so let's say I want to open Notepad. I hit the Windows key to open the menu. I type in Note and hit Enter, and it automatically opens Notepad instantly. So, boom. Dude, I use this. I honestly use the start menu all the time. Just hit like Windows key, type in Photoshop, enter, open the program instantly. My preference, I guess. Also, I don't care about the desktop background either because I just use the default one. Oh, gotcha. All right, sounds good. Mary Martin, drop a comment when you come back. I want to eat something more. I'm still hungry. Twitch just muted itself. What did you say? About what, Dan Gaming? I've been speaking about a lot of different things. When it comes to opening programs, though, like, you don't need the desktop, to be honest. You don't even need the start menu. Like, you don't need this part of the start menu. You just need it to open, to type the thing in you want to open. Like, Blender. And then you hit enter and it opens it. Or you can type in anything and hit enter and it opens it. So you don't even need to click anything. Clicking things is just slower than just like typing and hitting enter usually.
Fully featured gameplay scene, and that's going to be our alerts. So whether you use Streamlabs or Stream Elements, whenever you're done customizing your alerts, they pop you out a browser source, right? Or a URL. So for example, if I were to go to Stream Elements, which is the service I use. So here we can see I've got my sub alerts. This is what they look like. I'm going to copy the link from Stream Elements. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to add one more source. It's going to be a browser.
This is a weird way to do it.
We're going to call it sub alerts. We're going to paste that URL right in there. We're going to make sure the width and height match what we have it set to in our alert software. So that alert in Stream Elements was a 1080p alert, and hit OK. And now if I emulate another subscriber, you can see on my scene here, let's put them just right. There we go. We got a little Charmander jumping up and doing an alert on my camera.
Yeah, this is a funny way to do it. I don't know if I'd even recommend doing it this way, actually. Maybe just showing it to like for beginners. As fast but inaccurate typer, it's actually faster for me to click a desktop icon than mess up typing. Man, really? I live on my keyboard. I use my mouse as little as possible for a lot of stuff that I work on. And I love keyboard shortcuts. So like hitting with the Windows key and just typing something it doesn't matter what screen you're on because it will always work. Like to click on the desktop icon, you have to like go to the desktop to click anything. It's just way easier to use this. And my taskbar is pretty cluttered as it is. I'm a big taskbar shortcut user also, but I don't really need this. Honestly, I could probably just all use this if I wanted to and clean up my taskbar a lot, but yeah. I still think the start menu, like clicking and searching for things is the best option, to be honest. Research some Japanese only Transformer characters. I discovered something ironic. What did you discover?
And also, we're gonna throw this inside our camera scene. So that way, again, if we move this around, our alerts come with us. And this is now a solid gaming scene. You got your camera, you got your gameplay, you got a little bit of a design added to it, and you've got your alerts for when people follow or sub or drop bits or whatever. From there, it's just kind of whatever you
to
feel
minimize
like adding.
games.
And browser
that's weird.
sources can be really
Like to use
cool.
Alt
The
Tab?
majority of fancy widgets that you put on your scene are done
Or like
in a
Windows
browser
tab?
widget. So for example, I worked with this really talented widget designer named AC Pixel who made this now playing scene. So you can see if I play Neon Renegade from Streambeats, I can show my chat exactly what I'm playing. And all I have to do is launch this widget, take the URL, create a new browser source, which we will call now playing, and paste it in there. And he told me this is also 1920 by 1080. And there it is. You can move it around, resize it if we want a little now playing widget in the bottom left of the screen.
That's
Now
such a
it's right
weird
there.
way to
So there you
do
go. You
it.
got a
I
really
guess you
cool now
can do
playing
it that
widget.
way.
You can hear the music playing in the background, and it took me like 15 seconds. So let's jump to the next thing. Let's set up a second scene here. We're gonna hit the plus button right here. We're gonna name it.
Yeah, I mostly use the
Intermission,
Windows
which
key to
is,
get a full screen games. Oh,
in my
that's so
opinion, the
funny.
most important.
I
scene.
use
A lot of
Alt
people think
Tab
your
to get a
gameplay
full
scene is
screen
the most
games
important
usually.
one because it's probably showing the
Alt
most,
Tab's a
but in
bit better
reality,
for
when you have
that,
your
I would
gameplay
say,
scene
than
up,
using the Windows key.
they're
But
there to
hey,
watch
if it
your
works for you.
gameplay and see you in the corner. In your
It
intermission
breaks some of
screen
your
is when you're
games,
interacting
really?
with your audience.
How about
It's
like
where it's
Windows
about
tab?
the actual
Does Windows
engagement.
tab work better?
So I think this is the one that you should spend the most time on. Now you can see I can click back and forth. The intermission
Black-
scene is
blue and
empty
black
'cause we haven't set
Optimus
anything up
Prime.
yet. But when you click on one, it changes scenes.
What?
Now, let's do one thing
That's
first. The most
awesome,
important part of an
Pixel.
intermission
I love when
screen
those things connect like
is the
that.
camera.
That's really cool.
So we're gonna go back to video capture device, and you can see it shows you which ones you've already made. Swipe left, you can preview it.
Yeah,
here.
these are like
I
stinger
hate those. I think they're
transitions.
terrible. Very few people should use them. Let's add a stinger transition. Stinger transitions are the ones with custom
Stinger transitions are
animations.
so
These
cool,
can be
guys. That's like my
fantastic
melee
tools
one
for
that
your
comes up.
stream. They're one of the elements that makes your stream look like you put a lot of effort into it. I would even say they're one of the few times that you can kind of go overboard and do something over the top and people will still enjoy it. Here's the Fiverr transition. I don't remember what it looked like. Oh, it was this one. That's right. I remember now. So you can see if I hit preview transition, it shows me two scenes, but you
It's
can
really
see
cool.
that it transitions from one scene to the next.
Windows tab, isn't it faster to use the Windows key? I suppose. Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're, because usually when I exit a game, I'm trying to launch a specific app. So if I hit Alt Tab, I can jump to the app I want to jump to, or I can just click the one that I want to jump to instantly. Whereas if I hit the Windows key, I have to like go to the taskbar and shuffle around instead of just hitting Windows Tab or Alt Tab or something like that. So, but that's my personal preference. That's awesome, Pixel. TF2 requires a full restart when you Alt Tab. Goodness, that's crazy, Cash.
Before the
I have not played
animation
Team
goes.
Fortress
So what
2
you
in
do is
probably
you
like
can
a
set
decade.
transition point in milliseconds. Let's set it at half a second. Oh, you can see the transition right before the doors close. 650 milliseconds. There we go. This isn't my favorite transition I've ever seen. It's way too long, but it works. One other thing that's important, I don't know here, and go to transition override. I can actually set
Yeah,
a different
transition overrides are
transition
really cool too.
specifically
I haven't
for
played
when
in
I
a while
transition
either, but
to
it
the
trained me
gameplay
not to use
scene.
Alt
So for
Tab.
example,
Oh, that's
if I
so
want a
funny.
different transition
Huh.
for each scene, I can go
Huh.
and I can make one individually with a plus button over here, name it properly, and then set it as the transition override. Okay, secret over. I can start talking at full volume again. I hope my microphone even picked me up when I said that. And the last basic function that you should be aware of here is the audio mixer, which is pretty straightforward. Most of the time when you add a source, like for example, the one it's picking up here is the cam link. It's actually hearing the microphone on the camera here. When you add a source that also has audio with it, it's gonna, and I would
You
pretty
can
much
mute
grab,
things.
because it's inside the settings, 60. Let's say I had him at -3 and I want to cut him in half. I'll bring it down to -9, and that will be exactly half the volume from -3. But I don't want the webcam volume at all. I don't want to capture my camera microphone. That's going to sound terrible. So I'm going to mute it, and I'm going to click this little gear, and I'm going to hit hide. And now it just cleans it right off.
You can
so
hide
let's finish
it.
this off. Let's jump into the last.
That's right. So I forgot. You can actually hide things that will never become useful to you. I think I've already hidden things I don't need. But it is very nice to hide things that, like, unhide all. Yeah, so I've already hidden this Logitech C920 webcam because I'm never going to use it. I'm trying to remember, like, what else I've possibly hidden. Oh, sorry. I forgot this is showing live. Broadcast stream mix. Yeah, no, I think this is right. I know Scott the Wasstar is streaming. Let's go. Yeah, Lotsa. Here I am. It's me, Scott the Waz. How are you, dude? Welcome in, my friend.
Area that you need to know at least the basics of.
The
and
settings.
Connect account and adjust the 264. Or are you?
Yeah, this is boring stuff.
the
This is all
larger the-
settings
and I found-
related.
But you're dropping
Wow, the settings is kind of a long section though.
for external devices that are going.
You need to
into
start
your
the
computer,
next
for
stream with,
example,
"Hey y'all,
a
David
microphone.
here."
Or if you're streaming your
Like
console
Scott
gameplay
the
and you've
Waz
got your
says,
console
"Hey
going
y'all,
into a capture
David
card,
here."
Your capture card would be another thing you could find in
I
here.
don't know,
However,
Lotsa.
you're probably
I'm not,
grabbing
like-
your capture card in
I'm not willing to
sources, so
do
you
that
don't really
yet.
need to add it in again.
I
in an audio
invested so
device.
much in the
Video
profile
is
picture
quick
I
and
have right
simple, but
now
it's important
that,
you
like,
understand
changing
base
the profile
canvas
picture
is
to
the
be something
resolution
else
of
just
this
does not sound
canvas
like something I
here.
want
So
to
you can
do.
see if I change this to 720p, everything gets cropped in because I just made this canvas smaller and these were scaled to 1080p. Let me change it back. However, if you're dropping frames, you need to lighten the load on the PC a little bit. You can change your output, what OBS sends to Twitch, down to 720p, and even change your FPS
Yeah, this is really important.
to 30 FPS. Now your computer is only encoding a 720p 30 FPS stream. And while yes, you will lose a little bit of quality going down to 720p 30, a smooth 720p 30 stream is a much better
It should
viewing
still be 60
experience
FPS.
than a
What we have right
choppy
now is
1080
iconic, so it's
60,
fine, right,
dropping
Lotsa?
packets
That
of
was
6
done
frames
deliberately.
and really of all
Like
the
I
settings,
used
those
it
are
for
the
my
important
for
ones that
everywhere,
you
right? I use that
should
one picture
know
for
when you're
everything,
starting. Once
and
you
it
get the
stuck with
hang
me
of
to where
OBS,
people
feel free to
associate that with me
explore
now,
other
you know?
settings. It's cool to know what
So
you have in
I'm
your
very
toolbox,
hesitant
but,
to change
I
it.
mean,
There's
you can
actually a
take
really
these
good.
settings I mentioned
Hold on,
and
I'm
you
just see if
can
I
run
can
with
find
them
the
for a
article
couple of
actually,
years.
since we're on education stream. Ryan Hoover profile picture medium. Let's see if this is the one they give. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. R Hoover. Why I never changed my profile picture. Okay. This is my avatar. I'll blow this up so it's easy to read. Okay. I've used this photo on Twitter and other services for the past 5 years and have no intention of changing it despite my increasing age. I just turned 27. I often see people changing their profile picture on a regular basis. For those trying to build an online identity, this is a mistake. On Twitter, your username is secondary to your profile picture. People recognize you by your avatar. Once changed, followers need to reassociate the new photo with your person. This is also less important for those that already have built a strong brand and following, but those just starting out have a harder time building recognition and should maximize their opportunities. Fred Wilson, a prominent VC at UCV, wrote about profile pics and online identities in 2009. Here is his avatar. Fred describes this photo has become my online brand. It's simple, small, and very recognizable. By putting it everywhere that I am online, I used frequency and reach to power home that the avatar is me. It's become my visual handle, and it's also a signature and sign of authenticity. So here's some more examples. People often choose terrible profile pictures, devoid of personality or difficult to identify. Landscape photos or full body pictures translate poorly in 80 by 80 pixel avatars. In my humble opinion, the more personable you are, the better. That said, not everyone needs to use a smiling headshot against a brick backdrop like myself. I find it interesting how people have chosen to portray themselves through their avatar. So these are some unique examples. But the point is, pick one that's like really good and use it consistently. You know, that's like the most important thing. So yeah, I think I actually like... Did I respond to this or clap? No, I didn't. Yeah, and I agree. Another mistake people make with their profile pictures is they like don't crop it enough to their face. So I'll actually show you an example. Okay, so you're gonna see the source photo of my profile picture so I can demonstrate a point. All right. All right, here is the original photo that was taken. So this is the photo. It's shot in portrait mode, and it looks like this, right? I've had the question mark profile picture for a bit over a year now. Yeah, lots. I actually do associate you with the question mark in my brain. Yeah, I actually do. I actually do. So that's a good example. Right? So here's the profile picture, right? So if I want to make this a profile picture, I want to make it a square. But if I made it like this, right? If I make it small, look how hard it is to see. But if I crop it down to this, that's a lot easier to see my face at a small size compared to this, right? Especially compared to this. Like that is just, you lose all the details in that. So, Skater Goat. My name is Skater. I've been wanting to stream, but all my friends that say I shouldn't and threaten me not to. Can you give me some tips so maybe I can convince them that I should? Maybe if I learn how, they will stop bullying me. Skater, you come to the right place. Come to the right place at the right time. My profile picture just Beta's Dreams model. And what do you think's in my brain, Cash? For you. I think the profile picture is one of the most important things. And Skater Goat's profile picture is very distinct also. So. You didn't mean to type that, but it happened and I pressed send. Wait, you didn't mean to type what, Skater Goat? The paragraph about learning how to stream or the honk? You can crop in MS Paint, but when you crop things in MS Paint, it like loses a lot of the fidelity. So I wouldn't recommend using Paint to resize things. I'd use like Photoshop ideally, or like GIMP or Paint.net. That's why I spend so long on my profile pic, so you can easily identify what it is from very far away or very tiny. I don't know if you're being serious or not, but like that's very true. Oh, honk. That's a little random there, Skater, but hey, we appreciate randomness here. My profile picture is a picture of Mega Man X. Yeah, I'd be careful with making your profile picture like a character from another series. Like, that can work, okay, if that's like your mascot, but MS Paint reserved for my beautiful deviant artwork. Hi, Christy, but something went wrong on my phone. Seriously? That's really weird. How do you get honk out of that? I need to change mine on Twitch so there isn't a foot in it. What? There's a foot in it. Oh, wait. Is that because I sent it to you? Yeah. That's because it's the one that I sent you. The one that I used remove.bg. No, that's why. That's why. So, like, okay, this is actually super funny. Someone pointed out to me that there's a foot in the photo in the background. And I didn't see it at first, and I did remove.bg, the service I used to remove the background. And it is in there, and someone pointed it out. It's the funniest thing ever. Good to know, Skater. Good to know. I was being serious. I couldn't decide what I wanted my profile picture to be, so it made a question mark. So I never feel the need to change it. Okay. That's so funny. It is changed. Yeah, it is changed. I think the one that I gave you is the one that was wrong. So if you updated it from that, that's good. Okay, so here's a checklist of what to do to stream. Okay, ready? The accounts you need are Twitch, and we're gonna go with Stream Elements as our recommendation for like using alerts and widgets in a bot. So let's actually say this: streaming service. Okay. This is gonna be alerts, overlays, chatbot, plugin for OBS. So using Stream Elements does a lot of things for you right off the bat. There's something a friend of mine drew in like 2 minutes, like 2 or 3 years ago, but it's so cute and I love it. Oh, that's your profile picture. I like the drawn one. Annie, because you use that on Discord and Twitch, I absolutely think of that when I think of your name. Right? It's really good. It's hard to see profile pictures on Twitch because they're only really that prominent if you're a streamer. If you're a viewer, your profile picture almost never comes up for anything. So I know your profile picture is mostly from Discord or from Twitter or something like that. Ooh, let's go, Memory Martin. What kind of style are you having? We're talking about profile pictures right now, Memory Martin. And their importance to establish your brand. And also, we're instructing Skater on how to get started streaming. Man, earbuds do not agree with my ear holes. All right. A good old Caesar salad. Gotta love it. Classic. Classic. Also, Skater Goat. I don't know if you got a new PC or not. I think, weren't you talking about getting a new PC or a new laptop or something for Christmas? Or did I completely make that up? I feel like you were mentioning that, but I could have also just made that up. I'm gonna be the best. I'm sure you are. I'm thinking of updating mine to a pic of me and my dog Cooper since he's basically my mascot. Aw, that'd be awesome. What kind of dog is Cooper? Henry Martin. Also, I would say if you, I was also demonstrating this in chat. If you do have a profile shot, make sure you crop it really closely around your face so you're easily seen at small sizes. So for example, my profile picture, this is the source image of my profile picture. This is at 100% size. So it's a massive photo. So if you make it small, it's very hard to see. So you could crop it like this. And if you were to hold a dog, you might be tempted to crop it like this. But even then, at small sizes, it's kind of hard to see. So I prefer cropping it even more like around your face, a healthy amount. So this is another way that I would test your profile picture. You also know it's a good profile picture if it crops really well in a circle. So this is 500 pixels. I'll compare it to a 500 pixel. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. 500 pixels. Okay, so both of these are 500 pixels. Okay, this is the same picture with different crops. This is a circle crop and this is a square crop, and they both crop really, really nicely. Yes, kind of. My dad got a new one, but he's given me his previous one, but apparently is having trouble. No, I'm sorry, Skater. That sucks. He'll get it working, but probably not by the time I leave. Dang it. Can he ship it or something? He is being generous, but still, like, you expected to have that, and not having it is kind of a bummer. A hunting Shih Tzu, as we call him. Oh, part Basset. Okay, I'm not sure what the last part of the Basset, but that is awesome. I love Shih Tzus. They're so cute. Anyway, so here's an example of like wanting to test your profile picture if it's in small sizes, and if it has a good circle crop, and if it has a good square crop. You'll want to make sure it's good for that. So that's what I'd say for profile pictures. That's like the short story. I don't feel like typing it all right now. Fair enough. That's fine. A hunting breed that specializes in hares. There you go. You learn something new every day about dog breeds. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. So if you get a streaming computer, it should have Windows 10 on it. it should have an Intel i5 core processor at least, or whatever AMD equivalent that would be. And you want 8 gigabytes of RAM at minimum. If you have a computer with these specs, you should be good for streaming. And then I'd recommend either OBS Studio or OBS Live, which is basically OBS Studio with a plugin. So OBS Live and OBS Studio are basically the same thing. And then in terms of add-ons, if you want to do fancy stuff with your stream, I'd recommend using Chatbox and Cruise Control. Cruise Control's for a little bit more advanced, but you can do really cool things with channel points. Like, for example, when you guys redeem Donkey Kong, that's all Cruise Control that does all that. It's like half Stream Elements, half Cruise Control. It sends a message to play a certain sound effect, and it enters a chat command which triggers the Stream Elements video to play in my stream. So Cruise Control is really, really cool. It automates a lot of cool stuff if you're looking to do that. As far as equipment goes, I would consider headphones and microphones super important, and camera very important also. And if you're doing console, capture card. Let's go. Thanks for redeeming a Donkey Kong Dan Gaming. I appreciate that. So that's done with Cruise Control and Stream Elements. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, that's another example. The Donkey Kong one works that way too. Yeah. That's all Cruise Control and Stream Elements. Because you'll notice, you see in chat how it says exclamation point Donkey Kong. That's Cruise Control sending that message. And then I have a chat command based video play on Stream Elements on one of my overlays. And if someone else tries to use the Donkey Kong command, it won't work. Because I've made it so only like moderators and the streamer, that'll work only for them, not for any other user. So anyway, a little clarifier there. As far as a camera goes, you can use your phone, but I don't know the full like what app you need to use your camera as your web, or the camera on your phone as a webcam. But there's some really good options from Logitech for webcams that are really good. I've used a C920 for almost 6 years. Really, really good. This is a really good capture card. The one I use is over the top, but it's really, really good. It's called the X Capture one. I'll put it down here just because, even though it's like $350, so I get most people can't afford it. It is very over the top, but if you want to stream like every kind of thing from every kind of console, it's basically got you, like, you don't need anything else. It's got composite, component, D-terminal, VGA, and HDMI and S-video. Nice, you got a keyboard? What kind of keyboard did you get? Having a keyboard is better than not having a keyboard. And a mouse? Yo, let's go. A keyboard and a mouse? You're well on your way to streaming now. And then we have a bonus category, which is like a good lighting, which is actually pretty cheap. $24 for the selfie ring that I'm using right now, which is right up there. It's this selfie ring, and it's got some good lighting going on there, and you can probably see it a little bit in my glasses. Yeah, this one in my right there. That's the ring light. I wouldn't even say we need a gaming mouse, to be honest. She's basically streaming right now. Yeah, it's true. She really is when you think about it. Also a green screen, which you literally can't see right now, but if you care about green screen stuff at all, I'm hitting it right now, but you can't tell. I wouldn't say green screens are a necessity at all. It's only if you want to like have this cut out. The reason why I like green screens is because look at all this. Like, all this space that would normally be covered up is invisible. Like, normally this would be like a square. Like, see where my hands are getting cut off? This entire square would be wasted with useless background stuff. But because I've got my green screen, it saves a ton of screen real estate with allowing me to be bigger. But if you want to like just box this off and put it in a corner, that's perfectly fine too. So, you don't recommend Macs, take that. I don't recommend using OS X or Mac or Linux, no. because you're gonna run into problems in a lot of cases. Good thing I don't have a cam or a mic at my mom's, where the only computer that could possibly stream is LOL, so I couldn't be bullied into streaming. If you don't want to stream, Annie, no one's gonna force you to. I would never do that to you. No one should ever want to do that to you. But this is just simple if you want to get into it. Corsair K55. I don't know, things my brother picked it out for me. What kind of mouse you got? I'm not sure I know what that one is. How do I do profiles if I don't want to show my face? Good question, Dan. If you don't want to show your face, I would recommend like picking creating an avatar, like a character, or getting a commission for a little, like my, my avatar, my cartoon avatar kind of guy. So like this guy, he's kind of like my toon mascot. So you do something like this, and get like a little character you can use as your profile picture, and then just use that consistently, and you should be good. I'm trapped in a box. Get me out! Also, Donnie bullied me into it, and look where we are. There we are, Christy. See? Dreams come true after you get bullied. It's obvious. Christy and Donnie have slightly suggested it. Really? I don't know. I like when my chat asks what hotel I'm staying at. That's true, and that's true, Memory. Like, again, if you want to... I know some streamers use their background as, like, a conversation piece, like, for what you're saying, or... like their room that they're staying in shows some of their personality a little bit, and so they like showing that part of them. And I totally understand that's a good reason to show your background. But for me, I don't care that much about my background. I'd rather be bigger on the screen and take up less space overall. So that's what I care about. But everyone has different preferences. You'll get intense about it. It's tempting. It's really fun, Skater. It's very fun. If you want to do it, I would definitely recommend it. An Annie or Skater stream? Oh man, I'd be the first to show up. I also don't stream from your console. It's just not really worth it. Skater streams before? When did that happen? I once smacked a kid with a book who bullied, and my mom wasn't even mad. Good for you, Pixel. Granted, there's not much they can see aside from the foot of my bed and the plushies I have there, and Cooper. Lots and lots of Cooper. Gotta love good doggos. Good boys. Alright, Christy. It's on. It's on. We'll race there. So yeah, I think this was a decent overview of, like, equipment to get and, like, what to use. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if I'll make, like, a little video showing some OBS stuff, or... because it's hard to show examples of, like, the cool stuff you can do for some reason. Like, I can show you my screen, but I don't know, it's hard to... Can I... wait. Oh, cool. So I just disabled the preview. So you shouldn't see a million of these. But see, I've got 3 nested scenes in here. I've got this background scene. Let's turn on studio mode for a second. Oh, wait. Now it becomes kind of hard to show you guys what I'm trying to show you. But anyways, do you see, like, this background scene I've got in OBS, right? This is just a looping video, a Stream Elements overlay that's looping video. And in every single scene, I've got this as a background. It's nested on the bottom, on this bottom row, see? So I've got alerts as a nested scene, I've got background as a nested scene in a lot of the scenes. So I'm reusing scenes, which is actually really efficient. And it just makes things easier to standardize too. Really appreciate the tips. Will this be uploaded later? Yes, Sidewinder, it will be uploaded later on my VODs channel. If you use the VODs command, you'll nab a link to it. Exactly what Skatergoat said. Stream Inception. Endless David's hypers. Yeah, so use the VODs command and you should be good. Got like 20 mods. That's crazy. On like Donkey Kong, Christy. I need them for all my followers. I only counted 4 Davids. The more Davids, the better. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including me. That's too bad, Memory Martin. I'm sure he'll figure it out. Here, I'll use the VOGs command for someone in chat. I'm a proud skater mod. Let's go. Very proud of you, Skater Goat, for having such a loyal coalition. Okay. So anyway, TLDR, streaming is fun. There are ways to do it well. I will happily help you if you want help, because if you're in my stream, you're probably really awesome, and I'd love to help you with it. Skater mod merch coming soon. There are more Davids than Spider-Man in the Clone Saga. The David verse. Don't like that. No kidding, Skaters. Very impressive. People would kill to have the team you've got. Now I feel bad because he was so excited to stream Zelda for the anniversary. I forgot. I didn't know today was the anniversary. Wow. Into the David verse. Potato power! 1 year subbed. Let's go.
I have reached the full year badge. 1 year ago, someone gifted me a sub, and 11 months ago, I used Amazon Prime so I could stay in the Minecraft server. Anyway, heyo.
Hey man, thanks for the resub. We got Skater Goat as a 1 year sub, and we have Potato as a 1 year sub also, which is awesome. So congrats, gamers. And Annie and Christy ain't no slackers either. We've got a 9-month sub and an 11-month sub from Christy. So Christy's almost a 1 year sub also. Gotta point that out, you know. And Annie's only 3 months away. Pretty impressive, I'd say. Well, next year he's gonna stream most of the games. He doesn't have all of them. Oh, really? Like all the Zelda ones? Oh no, that was me, but I was just kidding.
If you had a Smash moveset, what would it be? B64I and B64I.
If I had a Smash moveset, what would it be? Thanks to the 25 bits, Cash. What would it be? That's a really good question. Someone said like I throw Jones soda bottles as like my neutral B. And honestly, one reason I'm so afraid of creating a Smash moveset for myself is I feel like somebody would like make it happen via mods, and I don't want myself in a Smash game. That would be terrifying. A 0-month sub, cry. That's okay. You're part of the Kim crew. That's all that matters. He's only missing 4 Swords Adventure and Minish Cap. Really? I've got 4 Swords Adventure. Does he have the really bad CDI Zelda games? I don't have Minish Cap either. I like to stream more, but I never know what to play. I feel like new streamers should try to be consistent. That's true, Sidewinder. I agree. Sometimes it is a tough time to figure out what you want to stream, but if there's a game you could play for hours, I would just start with that one and then just play as much as you can and think of other things to stream. What do you mean I'm not listening very closely at all? Gosh dang it, Cash Poon. You're someone I'm afraid that's gonna make it happen. Not to fix what, Skater? Help, I might have turned on light mode from chat on mobile. Oh dear. Thanks for the posture check. Skater, I appreciate that. Oh, my headphones fell out of my ears. You didn't mean to do that? How's that possible? Gosh. Sorry, I got a really dumb notification. Can I be refunded? Yeah, I think Christy's got you. I think Christy's got you. It looks like in chat. I forgot what you're talking about though. He does the actual CDI? That's crazy, Memory Martin. That's crazy. Oh gosh, Cash. If I don't decide, I'll have to decide for you. Oh my gosh. Sure, go ahead. Knock yourself out, Cash Poon. I'll just be eagerly awaiting whatever you come up with, and very sad that I'm in Smash. I'm trying to figure out how I double tap or swipe or held something down. Well, oh yeah, I was looking at my phone to see if I could figure out how to change from dark mode, or from light mode to dark mode. Account settings. Yeah, okay, it's just so Skater Goat. It's literally as easy as I already found it. So go to this setting, and then go down to my wait. Sorry, I tapped the wrong thing. Go down to account settings. It's hard to look at a webcam when I'm... And then under preferences, the first option is dark mode. Right there. That's all you have to do. Where in settings? It's near the top. It's like preferences or something. Do not forget I couldn't manage to mod you in Smash. That's not my skill set. Whew. I have a lot of friends that could do it though. Skater. It's like one of the first options. Account settings. Preferences. See? Preferences. Dark mode. First option. My webcam doesn't want to focus on this, but yeah. You get the picture. You get the picture. You got it. Awesome. No problem. No problem. Yeah, Pixel? Modding's really fun. Modding's really fun. Gotta love the Bowser theme and from Mario Party. You're selling yourself short. Can't wait to stream. Gosh dang it, Cash. I don't know what you're talking about. First stream, how to change from light to dark mode. It'll take me 4 hours. Speaking of dark mode, I recommend this app called Dark Reader. It's a plugin for Firefox that forces dark mode on every website. So like, watch this. If I go to google.com, oh gosh, except when Google has stupid custom images, it gets kind of wrecked, but it makes everything dark mode. It looks really cool. Usually it looks really nice, but when they change this out for something custom, it looks bad. That's a nice image there, right? December global holidays. But yeah, see this image works fine. Why couldn't they have just made it a transparent PNG like this logo? Oh well. Oh well. Isn't cash food a inappropriate word? I mean, together it's not. The second word could technically be considered a bad word, I think. But yeah, Dark Reader is really good. I also recommend multi-account container. It's super good. So like if you want to be logged into multiple things at once on the same website, or like multiple accounts at once on the same website, it's actually really sick. So like right now I'm logged in as David v Kimbot right now. See, look. I'm Kimbot, and if I do a new tab, it's a standard new tab, and I open mine, I'll be David instead of... See, look, I'm David. I'm David instead of Kimbot, see? Pretty cool. See? Pretty nice. Yeah, Cash, it's really useful. It's called multi-account container for Firefox. It's really good. Oh gosh, this needs dark mode on. It's such a bright sight. Okay. Oh, what? I'm gonna start this on GitHub. Okay, here's the add-on if you want to install it. I'm putting make a David Kimball a Smash Bot on my bucket list. Gosh dang it, Pixel. I thought David Kimball was the streamer. Shake my head. Surprise. It's me. Not a bot. Also, check this out. Speaking of which, I've got a bot account on Twitter that just like streams out that basically tweets out my stream all the time. And because of the hashtags I use, it like promotes my streams. Like, this is from the 23rd of December stream. People are like Twitch streamer support accounts retweet it and stuff. It's really funny. So I have it to say like I'm currently live. Like Stream Deck automates the whole thing though. It's really cool. It's Aki. My alt costume will be glasses. Okay, I'm glad that's not my primary costume, Pixel. My sister is an alien. My proof is that she uses light mode. Okay, she is definitely an alien, Dan. Definitely. You can stream as a bot. I know what I must do. You can stream as any Twitch account, Cash. Like the only reason that, like if I use the bot, right? Like this. That is just that's like a custom Twitch account that I own. And it's renaming the Stream Elements bot to David V. Kim bot. That's all it's doing right there. I was thinking his victory screen would be him taking off his glasses and pulling his profile picture pose. Oh gosh. Gosh dang it, Cash. No, I don't want glasses default David. Glasses is not default David in my brain. The implications of that are too sad to realize. I just remembered I was supposed to get Twitch RPG bits on the 24th and never got them. I'm sorry, Annie. True. The victory screen could be me holding this and looking at the camera. Like I could be like handing off my laptop and then holding a soda. Okay, I can't be giving you guys more ideas. This is outrageous. I think before things get worse, I'm gonna raid a friend. Raid a friend. Raid a friend. We should totally raid Seth. Yeah, he just started streaming too. He's playing Super Mario RPG. All right, guys, we're gonna raid Seth. And a little bit early tonight, not like 10 minutes early, not too early. And you guys are all awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. And of course, Annie, I will see you guys all next time. I swear you're not related. Thank you, Annie. There's a Clippy raid icon on the overlay. If you click that, you will get access to a pre-written raid message. We want to explode Seth's chat. So Potato Power's got it. Annie's got it. Chrissy's got it. Chrissy, was awesome having you. Hopefully you guys learned something from this stream. I might compile something based on the notes we took for the stream and make a formal kind of how to get started with streaming type thing. We'll see. Yeah. Exactly, Potato. Explode the chat. We want to give Seth heck, if you know what I'm saying. My final smash could be swearing. Oh heavens. All right, guys, as always, enjoy the credits. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Have an amazing night. Bye-bye.